Games of the night in college baseball. Welcome to Jim Perry Stadium here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. It's the East Carolina Pirates, one of the favorites in the American Athletic, and the Campbell Fighting Camels, preseason favorites in the CAA. Two elite programs battled it out here on this Tuesday night. Welcome into Jim Perry Stadium with a former all-conference slugger in Colin Wolfe. I'm EvanBudrovich. These are the two winningest programs in North Carolina last year, Campbell and ECU. Both regional teams, both off to nice starts with series wins. What makes this rivalry so unique?
I think what's awesome is it spans multiple years. You know, Cliff Godwin and Justin Hare have both been at the helm for their respective teams for multiple seasons. It's always something that we look forward to early in the year and late in the year, two regional teams going at it.
East Carolina dominant in the series sweep over Rider this past weekend. And it started with Jacob Jenkins Cowart offensively. What does he bring to the table for the Pirates?
Yeah, he was an animal, wasn't he? Big lefty, power to all fields. I would assume also Jim Perry Stadium. 2 home runs with 3 doubles with a .571 on-base percentage. Look for him today to keep it going here for the Pirates. For Campbell, we also have Grant Knipp. That's Campbell's guy right there, anchoring the staff behind the plate. Working hard tonight. He's going to be behind the dish as DH one of the games this past weekend, leading the team in hitting. .818 on-base percentage, and like I said, anchors the pitching staff that responded really well this past weekend, Evan, after getting punched in the mouth a little bit the first Friday night.
Campbell, a top 25 win over Santa Barbara. ECU absolutely dominant against Rider in a 3-game sweep. So here's where the numbers get interesting. Both teams won their series, but in different ways. These stats are brought to you by Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. How about a .350 batting average and a sub-1 ERA if you're East Carolina?
Yeah, I think for East Carolina, what you see here is they were able to put together all 3 phases and make them cohesive. They were able to hit for average. They were able to get on base, and obviously their pitching was able to dominate too. Campbell, on the flip side, they got punched in the mouth early. Like I said, 20 runs Friday night, 19 walks, but they were able to respond and get 2 huge wins against a good Santa Barbara team. It's
the first of a fun 3-game series. Campbell and East Carolina, all midweeks. And Cole Peschel's first pitch is in there. The D2 transfer out of Charleston, up in Charleston, West Virginia, was an All-American last year at the D2 level, and he'll face Riley Johnson, left-handed hitter out of Virginia here for the Pirates. Cole Peschel, who had an excellent Fall World Series, earned a spot in the midweek rotation, faces a red-hot East Carolina lineup. Not only scoring 10 runs a game, but tough to stop. Hit .350 as a unit. And Riley scored 3 of those runs in a 3-game sweep. He grounds one to the shortstop, Trenton Harris, and a quick out for Campbell defensively. This is a revamped Campbell defense as they graduate 80 home runs offensively. Now, for East Carolina, also losing some key faces, but bringing back, we know, to Jacob Jenkins Cowart in the middle. But how about the production with Budrovich now at NC State? Carter Cunningham in the heart of this lineup.
Yeah, it seems like East Carolina kind of does the same thing. They graduate people, they bring people back in, they bring in new guys, and they all tend to contribute under Cliff Godwin's offense. It's really fun to watch every single year.
Here's a bunt attempt for Jacob Starling. Now, he's the stud returner in terms of experience in games played, over 150 games in an ECU uniform. Starling, 3rd-team All-AAC in the preseason, and preseason All-American as well. Cole Peschel taking his time here before the 0-1. And that's an element of the clock now in college baseball, the pitcher playing with the hitter's timing.
You know, I was actually talking earlier with some of my buddies about whether or not we liked it or not. I liked the pace, but I also like that it adds another level of gamesmanship. Stuff like that where he's able to come set and just sit there. Hey, use your timeout, or I'm going to come in with another 92 on the hands, and now he's got a 0-2.
Peschel working ahead for the redshirt sophomore. Challenges Starling with the heat. And here's Dalen Thompson into the gap. He's a former shortstop in high school and tracks that one down. Justin Hare noted with Dalen Thompson his ability to play multiple positions. He's played first, second, third, short, and now in center this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very versatile. Stepped up for the injured Drake Pearson last year in the Columbia Regional. We talked about this past weekend. He's kind of given Justin Hare a little bit more patience at the top of the order, but you really can put him anywhere. He's always a pretty good two-strike hitter. If not, he's going to put the ball in play and challenge the defense. So, and then watching him glide in center field right there to make that play.
There is Carter Cunningham. Not only elite patience, but big-time production last year. Only 19 starts, but in those starts, ECU had a 16-3 record. Really good in spot situations. 16 RBI off the bench for head coach Cliff Godwin, whose program now in year 10 has won 40 or more games in 5 straight seasons. Even Justin Hare noted Campbell has built his program off its nearby rival here, ECU, just 90 minutes away, Colin.
They've talked a lot in their interview earlier today about how much respect they have for each other and how similar it tends to be that these I mean, you could say storied programs that we have over the past 8 years.
Especially in recent history.
Absolutely, yeah. ECU being able to host multiple times, host regionals. Campbell's been there once, been in regionals the past few years. It's very similar the way that they battle with two strikes, that they pride in their defense. They really mirror each other, honestly.
Quick start for Cole Peschel, searching for the 1-2-3. Cunningham able to spoil that pitch. Unique career for Carter Cunningham. Started his career at Gardner-Webb, then moved to the JUCO level, Florida Southwestern State, and was a gem of a find by Cliff Godwin and his staff. Now his first full year as a starter, grinding in a 1-2 count. Good take to extend the at-bat. That's Brian Peterson working behind the plate. Peschel challenging with the changeup. And there's the second baseman, Chandler Riley, back to make the catch. 3 quick outs for Cole Peschel. And you'll get a first look at Campbell's offense when we return. Pitching matchups for Chris Kaler. He did throw 2 innings over the weekend against Riders, so his second career appearance in an East Carolina uniform. And good accolades out of the A-10 George Washington transfer, all conference last year for GWU. And Colin, what should East Carolina expect from its starter tonight?
Well, last year he had a 1.19 whip, so that tells me that he's going to keep guys off the bases. So for Campbell on the flip side, you got to challenge him to get in the stretch, but East Carolina typically can rely on this guy to get plenty ground balls put in play, gets his strikeouts when he needs to. He's looking for quick innings tonight against this Campbell offense.
A Campbell attack that comes in hitting .225, and Dalen Thompson moves up to the #1 spot tonight for head coach Justin Hare. Worth noting in his order, Grant Knipp, we talked to you in the pregame, hitting .667 in the first 3 games.
Yeah, .667 typically earns you more starts. Not that he wouldn't already, but hitting .667, that typically earns you some playing time. Grant Knipp has really just been a reliable piece for Justin Hare these past couple years.
Now that ball just snuck through the wickets of Justin Wilcoxon behind the plate. Dalen Thompson, the nearby native, grew up in Dunn, North Carolina, just 10 minutes from here. Smacks one foul. We note in the Open, Thompson actually filled in at first base during the Columbia Regional for all-conference slugger Drake Pearson, had an injured wrist. And Thompson hit over 400 in the postseason, all in spot starting duty. A little late on that pitch, falling behind. But that ability to come in and make an impact earned him the spot this year.
100%. The Justin Hare values that ability to, when your number is called, respond. It really is a testament to what everybody did on the Campbell team this past weekend, where they got 20 spot on him on Friday night and come back and get 2 wins. That's just what he's always looking for from his guys.
Able to take the slider to work the count full. 2 scoreless innings for Chris Kaler in his debut against Ryder. And he forces weak contact. This will test Joey Barini. And a nice throw over there for the first out. Colin, you played the position in college. How difficult is that play?
Well, it's tough when you know that your leadoff guy's got some speed, right? Dalen Thompson playing center field tonight. He's able to get out of the box pretty quick. When you see that second hop, you have to come get it. Once you see that ball chop up high, you have to charge. He's able to get it, 2-step, throw the ball across, beat him by a step.
This East Carolina defense last year was really good, 978 fielding. That was in the top 50 in the country. Now, Oral Roberts led the country at 984, and we saw their run to the College World Series. Who would have thought great fielding leads to great baseball?
Who would have thought?
That was an upstart Omaha run for Oral Roberts, as Lawson Harrell takes the strike.
Love the speed, the pace that he's working with here on the mound.
Chris Kaler, 5 seconds or less, right back to it. Now as a hitter, how do you adjust offensively?
It's so tough. I was thinking about that because you have to find a way. It's not necessarily can you beat him, it's can you beat him at his pace. Because when he starts, he kind of dictates it, and that's what Lawson does right here.
Harrell drives one to left, and it drops in. That was not caught by Nowak, and his throw's a bit late, so a 1-out double for Lawson Harrell.
This Campbell offense, man, I can promise you this. Practices, batting practice, they work on ball hit, you're on second base if the ball is leaving the infield. And so Lawson Harrell, quick first step, you see that ball skip into the left fielder's glove. He's able to dive in safely with a hustle double. I don't blame the left fielder here taking a step back, seeing Lawson swing, because Lawson just hit 2 out on Saturday easily. So that ball probably looked like it was a little deep, ends up catching on the short hop instead of in his glove.
Sets the stage for Reed Stallman, who Justin Hare said had an incredible weekend offensively, has come in as a first-year transfer out of Des Moines, Iowa Community College. He was a 3-sport athlete, track, basketball, and football in his prep days. And they love his athleticism in the box, not just size, but the way he swings the bat.
Well, and on top of that, Coach Justin Hare talked about how much he loves him defensively as well and how important that is on the defensive side to kind of anchor your defense. The all-around player that Reed Stallman has been for Justin Hare so far, he's really liked what he saw after the first weekend.
Good pitch there by Chris Kaler to get back in the count. Kaler works with extreme tempo. But falls behind here to Stallman. That was an area of Campbell's offense that was underrated last year. Top 50 in the country in walks. They were the only team in the country at 100 home runs, 100 doubles, and 100 hit by pitches. But the walk factor was a big piece. And there's a walk to Stallman. Right, because death by 1,000 cuts is one thing, but then you combine power, patience, and a little bit of pop.
Yeah, and that's pretty much OPS for you, right? Having a great team OPS is huge, and that doesn't necessarily need to mean doubles and home runs, even though it did last year for this Campbell offense. The thing about that is I wonder how many 3-0 or 3-1 balls that would have been ball 4 anyway that they actually took as their hit by pitches too. So I wonder if their walks would have been even higher if they were getting out of the way of the ones that were balls anyway.
Goes after the first pitch. One of the most patient teams in the country was ECU last year. 30th in walks. Now Wake Forest, who led the country in a lot of different things. Tom Walters' club, #1 team in walking per game. And Nip lays off a high slider. Grant Nip came out with a bang. 4 hits in his first 6 at-bats in the series win over UC Santa Barbara. Now the 5th-year senior takes strike 2. And you don't very often see a catcher ask for the zone working with a home plate umpire. Chris Kaler ahead. And now it skips away from Wilcoxon. Early in this game, Colin, Campbell's been very patient on the breaking ball.
Yeah, it almost looks like they're sitting breaking ball. And that's mainly because of the pace that we're working at here in this game so far. But you can slow it down a little bit, especially with runners in scoring position when you sit off speed. And now that Nip is 2 strikes, he's probably sitting that anyway.
He sits slider and goes down swinging. It's a good pitch from Chris Kaler. Remember, in 27 innings, ECU's only surrendered 2 runs all season. No team has done it better in college baseball through 3 games. So now this is Dylan Kuntz, the Huntersville, North Carolina product. Back healthy from a hand bone injury that cost him all of 2023. Kaler dots it up. This ball's touched to left. Kuntz gives it a drive and caught at the wall. Nice play by Nowak to end it. And the Camel strand 2. We're in for a big offensive night here at Jim Perry Stadium.
This is where everything starts. It's a place of new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new identity. We are the Coastal Athletic Association, and from the beaches to the city streets, we are united to succeed at an elite level, in competition, in our communities, in our lives. This is the tide that lifts us, the fire that burns inside all of us. This is our moment, our new chapter. We are the CAA, and we are united in excellence.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities, in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Now keep in mind, 4 new starters on the infield. Trenton Harris and Riley returners. Colin, how does that change things up with O'Shaughnessy and Stallman getting the duties this year?
Well, I think that Coach Harrod likes the offensive presence of Braden O'Shaughnessy, and he hyped in his interview earlier today about how much he likes Reed Stallman anchoring the defense as a left-handed defensive first baseman. But he also talked about how big he thinks for this infield that Chandler Riley is able to move to second base. Talked about how comfortable he feels over there. And Trenton Harris has always been good at defense, but now this year becomes a primary starter over there so far. So he feels that Trenton Harris and Chandler Riley will be the good combination that he's looking for this Campbell defense.
A Campbell defense that played .965 last year. That was the one issue for the Camels. You think of their 46 wins. And Justin's been very honest and said, hey, we need to shore up our defense this year if they want to make a deep postseason run. So here's the star of the American Athletic Conference, Jacob Jenkins Coward. All conference last year in the AAC and has come out with a bang in the first 2 games of the series. 3 doubles and 2 home runs in the heart of this Pirate lineup. The preseason player of the year in the American.
This is a scenario where if I'm O'Shaughnessy at third base, I'm probably not playing the bunt, but hey, maybe he's a good bunter. Free hit.
Such a powerful threat in the lineup. Career .313 hitter who last year in 3 games against Campbell had 3 hits and 3 runs scored. And with that type of size and frame, it's very Juan Soto-esque in the box. Must be intimidating. How do you approach this as an opposing pitcher?
Well, it's really tough because you feel like there's not very many spots on the plate that you can execute and win. He can kind of cover everything. And I was going to say earlier, it kind of seems like every East Carolina highlight video you see is he takes a huge hack there and misses on his cheat count. every highlight you see on social media seems to be this guy at the center of it.
You hear the chants of JJC here in Bowie's Creek. This is a highly touted prospect.
Traveling jungle. Good pitch.
Nice response there on the curveball.
I guess he's kind of showing you the way that you can potentially beat him in the box. You got to throw what he's not thinking. So he cheated the 2-0 fastball and missed it. He's probably not thinking curveball there, and he's able to land it and get to a 2-2 even count with a chance to strike him out.
Peschel changing his delivery on that pitch for the strikeout. So there's a mental game aspect of Peschel. I didn't see that coming in, but it's playing a factor.
No, and the ability to have the 92-93 with arm side run with the fastball mixed with this changeup here. There's a little bit of hesitation in the move.
That's Johnny Cueto-esque right there.
Yeah, and when he moves towards the plate as quick as he does after the hesitation, it looks like a fastball.
And that change in timing allowed Cueto to win a Cy Young with the Cincinnati Reds.
He did all right in his career, didn't he?
I wonder for Peschel, as an under-recruited D2 prospect, if that plays a factor, is his timing maybe its greatest weapon?
Well, it might be something that he kind of had to learn, or teach himself rather, in order to be effective. But now with his velocity and his movement, I'm not sure he needs it, but now he gets to utilize it as a tool more than a crutch.
Leads into 4 up and 4 down. Here's Chaz Myers. Now this was the big spot for East Carolina in terms of replacing a presence in the order. Myers will start in the infield, the University of Pacific transfer. DH today. Good battle here. You think back to 2 key studs in this lineup last season, Josh Moylan and then Alec Makarevich, that provided not only power but consistency. And this DH role is huge in Cliff Godwin's order.
Yeah, it typically is a guy in his order that can bang out a bunch of doubles and home runs and is a staple in their offense. And it's really just figuring out who's going to play that role this year.
Myers down on the slider, and there's back-to-back punch-outs. Very efficient start for Cole Peschel in his Division I debut. And this is Dixon Williams. You talk about a kid with a ton of potential. The Greenville product. He's the number 6 draft prospect out of this American Conference in next year's draft. A local product from Greenville. But Peschel is challenging these hitters with fastballs today.
It's really tough as a hitter when within the first 5 outs, you can tell that he has all 3 of his pitches working around the zone and in the zone and towards the bottom of the zone. It's really, really difficult to hit when you know that he's got all 3 working.
Add that pitch to the mix, and he's twirling ahead in the count.
It's a pitching coach or whoever's calling the pitches dream knowing that I can throw anything here, and I know that it's going to be close to the spot that we set up at.
Here's Cole Peschel cruising on 1 and 2. Now it's the slider part of the factor. And that'll complete it. 3 straight strikeouts in a Division I debut. Not too shabby. So we'll go to the bottom of the second.
This is where everything starts. It's a place of new beginnings, new opportunities, and a new identity. We are the Coastal Athletic Association, and from the beaches to the city streets, we are united to succeed at an elite level. In competition, in our communities, in our lives. This is the tide that lifts us, the fire that burns inside all of us. This is our moment, our new chapter. We are the CAA, and we are united in excellence.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities. in our state and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Joey Barini, multi-year starter, anchors this East Carolina defense. And Colin, how important will that defense be tonight on a turf field with a pitcher working quickly?
I think you need to take advantage of how nice these hops are probably going to be. Now that I say that, we're going to see something crazy. But it's very, very important that when your pitchers are rolling on both sides here with Campbell and East Carolina, you have to make plays for your defense, or for your pitching, excuse me. We've seen Joey Barini already make some plays, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more from this East Carolina infield.
There's Cliff Godwin, the East Carolina alum. Not only a decade of success, Colin, but on the doorstep of College World Series. Now, that's the big story here in Greenville, getting to that Omaha trip. It's been a long-awaited journey, but really good program here. Max Weller will lead things off for the Camels. And now the shadows play a factor, which has to be a hitter's worst nightmare.
I actually think the worst spot on this field in terms of sun and shadows.
This ball's touched to center. Johnson's got to go, and he has just enough room.
Max Weller puts a good swing on that fastball, able to get ahead.
Well, you left me hanging with the cliffhanger. What's the worst?
I'll get back to it.
What's the worst part of a ballpark?
Maybe I won't get back to it.
Oh, I don't
No, the worst part, and I don't know if our cameras can show it necessarily, but if you look from our view, the third baseman has sunglasses on and his gloves in his face. And that's because the sun comes right over the third base side of the bleachers. And so a ball in play is really, really tough. He didn't even know where the ball went. Right there, he literally was getting out of the way.
So for the next 2 innings, you're just hanging on.
Yes. It was scary. And it's always been like that.
Now you played third base and shortstop here, and second. As that pitch flips in for a strike. Chandler Riley, who made that move from third to second this year. Justin Hare loves his comfort level at second base. And even from like a footwork perspective, he said it's more natural for Chandler.
Yeah, I think the move is going to be good for him. Not necessarily that he should have made it any sooner, but I think he'll be more consistent there.
He's late on the heat, and a good start for Chris Kaler.
Chandler Riley here, just kind of a victim of pace this entire at-bat. The ability to just get the fastball. You can see he's got a little bit of an uppercut type of swing, so that up and away, probably belt high and higher, is pretty difficult for Chandler to get to sometimes, especially when you're working this quick with 92 in the back pocket, able to get the strikeout.
Here is Braden O'Shaughnessy. Now you're asking yourself, the name Braden O'Shaughnessy is a little different, right? Comes in from Youngstown State, grad transfer, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Was named first team All-Horizon and is in the top 10 in home run history at Youngstown State. 18 career homers. And now he has a loose shin protector. Who would have thought? The secret of success. How about that? 3 quick punch-outs for Chris Kaler. Working on his speed, and it is grooving here in Bowie's Creek.
Look here, quick pace, just blows the fastball right down the middle, not even looking for it.
great battle of starting pitchers working in different styles. Chris Kaler and Cole Peschel each dominant in the second. Colin, what's the challenge for ECU's lineup tonight against the way Cole Peschel is approaching?
I don't necessarily think it's pace like on the opposite side, but I do think you have to put pressure on him and get on base. And I don't know necessarily if that means working the count because Peschel's been in the zone. You really just got to have one or two guys string together some hits, and then maybe you can get into the small ball part of your game. Cliff Godwin's always been good at applying the small ball aspect offensively. So they just got to get to where they can use all their tools, but that starts with someone sparking the flame a little bit and getting on base early.
3 straight strikeouts for Cole Peschel, and now he'll face Luke Nowak. Cliff Godwin this week very high on Nowak's performance against Ryder, not just number-wise, but how he stepped into a role. I was very pleased with his performance. Luke split time in the outfield last year for East Carolina. Ended up the year's second team all-conference with 53 hits. Really good on-base percentage. This one has popped up right in that dangerous sun you talked about, Colin. Ooh, and the wind factor too for Max Weller, and there's the first out.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Trenton didn't keep running at it, but probably got called off super early. Able to come under that ball, make the play, make it look easy.
So this sets the stage for Justin Wilcoxon, who the last 2 years has split time behind the plate. Hasn't been the full-time catcher until this year. 55 starts last year. Mostly at DH, sometime at catcher. And he gets a good swing there.
When you're a left-handed hitter facing a right-handed pitcher and that right-handed pitcher has already executed his changeup very well in the first 2 innings, it's kind of tough to decipher early on, is that a fastball or is that a changeup out of his hand? So you'll probably see a lot of fastballs, guys being late on the left-handed side here for East Carolina early on.
Justin laying off that pitch. The Raleigh native went to Millbrook High School. The same high school as a Campbell legend, former basketball standout, and top 5 all-time scorer Chris Clemens. So the senior holds off and works ahead in the count. Justin last year really took the reins as the starting catcher. Won 39 games behind the plate as Cliff Godwin's full-time starter at catcher. And this year he comes in top 25 among D1's baseball's best catchers in the country. This ball is dangerous. Riley gives chase, and it's a base hit. First hit of the game for the Pirates, and well placed by Wilcoxon.
That's kind of what we talked about. It's got to happen like that, right? When things aren't necessarily going your way early, the first 3 innings for this East Carolina offense, you'll take what they'll give you, right? Little bloop shot right over Chandler Riley. Actually makes a great effort. Does everything he can to try and catch that ball, but ends up dropping in, and now you got runner first, 1 out. See if you can put something together here for ECU.
Opportunity for Joey Barini, who's the heart and soul of this East Carolina team. Goes right after the first pitch.
Can't do that.
I tell you, that sun looks impossible, and then Trenton Harris is not wearing his sunglasses.
Yeah, it's really like middle of the way up, I guess you could say. If you're looking straight up, it's not too bad, but as soon as you start moving down just even a little bit, that's when the sun gets in your eyes. Ground balls and very high pop flies should be fine for the next inning or 2. But the line drives to left field are going to be very tough. Not that you try to hit it there, but if that happens, you better start running.
Now the top of the ECU lineup, Riley Johnson. It is a left-handed heavy order for Cliff Godwin, as typical on the season. But Cole Peschel's ability to work counts and work ahead, he's been impressive tonight.
Yeah, you'd think that the lefties would kind of be able to hit the righty, but like I said, when you got all 3 pitches going, it kind of negates that.
Good breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Right now, Riley Johnson has to defend against 3 different speeds with 3 different movements, pretty much at 3 different levels of the strike zone in terms of height. all within 60 feet 6 inches at 90+ miles an hour or a little less.
The 0-2, good take. Johnson, the criminal justice major, will have to put those classes to good work here.
I think another similarity between these two teams is the willingness to put the team first with 2 strikes, with the hit by pitches, working the walks, working the counts. But they always seem to shorten up and try to put the ball in play.
So now attention over to first base. It is worth noting with the change in step-off rules in college baseball, you have to be cognizant of not only how many times, but when you use those pick moves. Only the first here for Peschel, so not a factor. And then the ball gets away. So clearly on the eyes of the runner, and there's Wilcox in the second.
These moments right here are where good teams separate themselves from other good teams, because East Carolina has a chance to put one on the board with a bloop hit, a blocked ball that the runner's able to get to second. If there's anything that gets to the outfield here, Coach Godwin's sending him, and it's a chance to be 1-0 ECU here in the 3rd inning.
That hit the bat, right? Yeah, it hit the bat. How about that? Do we have a replay of that? I have never seen it hit the bat and the handle. Crazy. The things you'll see on Flow Sports.
Elite.
What an elite matchup. Number 11, East Carolina. Campbell fresh off a ranked series win. And now the 2-2. That ball sneaks away. So 2 free bases here for East Carolina. Was that on the catcher or the pitcher there?
In terms of the ball getting by the catcher, I don't think they got crossed up. I'd probably put that on Nip, but I don't think that ball bounced up like Nip thought it would.
So instead, a big payoff pitch from Cole Peschel. What a battle. Now, this was the strength of East Carolina last year, the best strikeout to walk ratio in the American Athletic and top 10 in the country. This is a hard team to get out.
Campbell, even with 2 strikes, is sticking with their big lefty pole positioning in the infield. So that 6 hole really to the left of where a second baseman would typically play, all the way to where third base would play, is wide open. Something weak there is still a hit.
What a battle. Johnson continues. Even this past weekend against Ryder, more walks than strikeouts in a 3-game series.
What a luxury, huh? You look at the stat sheet and you walked more than you struck out.
So the battle continues on pitch 9. Advantage Pirates. Quality at bat from Riley Johnson.
I don't hate the idea of going backdoor slider there, because if you land it, it's probably an out. And the other reason is because now your defense is set up like it normally would be. You got a chance for Grant Nip, who we talked about throwing 98 off the mound, has a chance to potentially throw a runner out if they want to go throw all the way through to second. But you also got to force a second base too. So it opens up a couple opportunities that maybe you didn't have with runner on third.
Here's Jacob Starling. And all of a sudden, a dangerous throw to Reed Stallman. Here's East Carolina's first real chance to put traffic on the bases.
Got to go. Got to put pressure on him.
Runner does go. That's an easy stolen base.
And that's another thing with these pickoff rules. It was an 0-0 count. They pick off. He dives back in. You pretty much can bet a ton of chips there.
You get the whole at bat to go.
He's not going to pick again. So you can take a really, really good lead and a really good jump there. It's like a free second base at that point.
Big
Pitch.
Swing from Starling. Jacob Starling struggled when these teams met last year. 1 for 9 in 2 starts. Now a big spot for Jacob in game 116 of his Pirate career.
See, Evan, you'll watch here. He might not put it in play necessarily, but he's going to shorten up and try to put it in play, see if he can make something happen against this defense.
There it is in play. Testing Harris. Good speed. Starling. Better throw. Trenton Harris there to end the inning.
Yeah, absolutely. This is awesome. You can tell it's off the end of the bat. He comes in, makes a play on the run, gets the Camels out of the inning.
We are all scoreless through 3 tight ones. Campbell Athletics is in the middle of their 1K for 1K challenge. How about this? 1,000 people give $1,000 or more to join the Fighting Camel Club and impact the lives of those student athletes. So head to gocamels.com and you can give, maybe even to that guy. Justin Hare and the Camels. So he continues an impressive run. Now in year 10, has won 40 or more games in 3 straight seasons. Not the talent necessarily of last year's 46-win team, but off to a nice start over Santa Barbara.
Yeah, they were able to scratch out a couple wins like we talked about earlier. One thing I love about Justin Hare that we've been talking about over the broadcast the past couple games is how long he's been here and how much he's been able to see kind of the fruits of his labor and the success of his teams and what they've put together here at Jim Perry Stadium, as you can see with the packed house here.
Electric atmosphere. That one's fouled away by Harris. I'd imagine 1,500, 2,000 plus. Hard to count them all, but
well, when they keep coming in, it's tough.
Both these programs value college baseball, and that's important. You've played in these matchups. What makes these games special or unique?
I just think it's kind of like a battle for an hour and a half away. You know what I mean? That kind of region. So whenever you're playing, ooh,
right off the noggin there of Harris. So he gets hit to start the inning.
Glad that he's okay there. It's anytime if you're Campbell playing the Duke, North Carolina, NC State, East Carolina, we'll take a look here. Looks like it only caught the bill, which is good. Whew. Scary. But you take pride in kind of owning this area, and East Carolina, NC State, Chapel Hill, those teams have kind of had, like we talked about earlier, those storied programs. So Campbell kind of getting into the mix. Obviously, Wake Forest has been dominating the past couple years.
There are 9 ranked teams among North and South Carolina.
Yes,
this
it's
is
unbelievable.
An elite area for college baseball.
And what's interesting is that, you know, you'll see all of these accounts, you know, their projected field of 64 and who is going to be where for regionals and whatnot. And ever since the past 4 or 5 years, when Campbell's getting into them consistently, there's typically 2, sometimes 3 North Carolina teams in the same regional.
If that's not a college baseball announcement, I don't know what is. The owner of the white truck, move your truck or you're getting towed. Welcome to college baseball on a Tuesday night with Colin Wolfe. I'm EvanBudrovich. Out in Buies Creek, North Carolina, just 30 minutes from Raleigh if you drive fast enough. These programs separated by just under 90 miles. Good rivalry. They've split the last 10 meetings. Campbell won all 3 in the regular season last year. And a lot of attention on the running game here for Harris and the Camels. That's hit into the hole. Nice snag, Barini, and he gets the lead out. Great effort there by the ECU shortstop.
Barini gets a good first step here. I think what's crucial, though, is when he gets the ball, he gets to his feet as fast as he can, and you'll watch the second baseman, Starling, turn into a first baseman, able to reach a little bit farther just in case that play is really close. Harris coming in, trying to get to second base there quick. They're able to get the out, though.
And now Cliff Godwin comes out. Pitching change in order for East Carolina. Quality start if you're Chris Kaler. What'd you like about that performance from the ECU righty?
I think I just like the consistency. He was always pitching around 12 seconds left on the clock, even in the windup. And that's what's tough if you're a Campbell hitter is trying to combat that pace. It's not necessarily the pitches, although he was executing in the zone as well. But he almost didn't have to the way that he was working, and that's why you get 2 1/3 clean innings.
We'll take the timeout. New pitcher in for the Pirates when we come back.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then it's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
New arm out of the ECU bullpen, Eric Ritchie, who threw 23 games out of the pen last year, an ERA just above 5, but comes in now as a top 20 draft prospect for East Carolina. That's in the American Athletic Conference. You think of Gavin Williams, one of the elite arms for ECU in the recent years, and Ritchie would love to follow in those footsteps.
I still got nightmares of facing Gavin Williams. I swear, his ball was a blur.
102 from the right side. Fayetteville native. Austin Harrell out of Shelby, North Carolina. Able to work ahead. What is the big challenge of entering in this spot, especially against the middle of a lineup?
Well, I think that's actually exactly why he entered in the middle of this spot, is to try and take down the 2, 3, 4 hitters of this Campbell lineup. You do have to face 2 righties, but you got to find a way to get a ground ball here, get out of the inning unscathed.
There's a walk to extend it. A hit by pitch and a walk have gotten things started. We told you about Campbell's offense. 100 home runs, 100 doubles, 100 hit by pitches. And then you add in the walk factor, 350 walks.
think that's kind of going to have to be a little bit more of a staple in this Campbell offense. Everybody knows they're not going to get out of the way of any balls coming at them in the box, so they really got a challenge in the zone, but Campbell's got to be specific at the ones that they pulled the trigger on.
Here's Reed Stallman. Now that's the left on left that Cliff Godwin has to like.
That's why I don't think they were worried about facing Lawson Harrell, and I'm not sure that I would want to face him either after what he did last year and the 2 home run day on Saturday.
Good luck touching that. 91 up and in. Eric Ritchie in this ECU bullpen, 2 runs allowed in the first 4+ games. This one sneaks away, and now a chance for the Camels here in the 3rd.
The East Carolina offense kind of got in the same situation here, and Campbell was in it in the 1st inning. These are the types of situations that separate the teams in tough games like this ranked matchup for Campbell. You have to find a way to score 1. An out right here, a productive out, is good. You have to find a way to hit a ball deep in the outfield or roll a ball up the middle past the pitcher.
Let's see how deep this goes. Jenkins Cowart coming over.
No way he holds him.
Runner to the plate, and Thompson holds on a nice throw. Advantage Jacob Jenkins Cowart early. Take me through the mindset there if you're Justin Hare.
Well, I really think that just from past experience of him as a coach and playing for him, he always talks about how he wants to make – it's a tough throw regardless where you're at. That's a far throw. But when the right fielder's coming in on the ball, you kind of get second thoughts, and the throw was a great throw. It was a good call to hold him. Give Grant Knipp a chance with 2 runners in scoring position.
Knipp struck out in this exact spot in the 1st inning. Knipp, the Camel leader in RBI and total bases coming in. And these are the type of at-bats Justin Hare wants to see out of Knipp, who moves from the 8-hole now to the cleanup spot this year.
Yeah, I mean, 4 spots is a big jump, but Grant Knipp's the guy to do it. I'm just not sure I would challenge Grant Knipp here with the lefty on deck. It's the same scenario when Lawson was up. You got the lefty up. Even though Reed Stallman had a great weekend, I just don't think with the lefty on the mound that they'll be too excited to face these right-hand hitters with running scoring position. That's why Hare gives them the green light there.
Takes a big hack on 3-0. Dylan Kuntz up next. Eric Ritchie now in a bit of a jam. Challenges with the heat. Knipp shoots one right. It's got legs, and it's out of here. A 3-run bomb for Grant Knipp.
I know that first at bat with runners in scoring position for Grant Knipp when he struck out was eating at him. He couldn't find a way to execute them, but he absolutely punishes a ball opposite field here at Jim Perry Stadium. You don't see too many over the right field fence from right-handed hitters, but Knipp just too strong. Puts the Camels up 3-0.
It's the 15th home run of Grant Knipp's career. And you're right, that was struck well out of here. So Dylan Kuntz gets a chance. That is more runs East Carolina has surrendered than the entire season coming in. That ball is dangerous. Folks out of play. Good response by Ritchie for the punch out. Not before Grant Knipp gets things going offensively. His 3-run homer puts the Camels in front.
bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
Great atmosphere here at Jim Perry Stadium, and it's the 3-run homer of Grant Knipp to get things started. The camo seems in tonight. But how about this swing from Knipp?
Yeah, this is just unreal power. The 3-1 pitch, fastball in the outer half. Home run looks like a lefty's hitting it. That's how well he spun it out to right field. And I mean, that's why he's a draft prospect. And now he gets to go call some more pitches up 3-0. It changes the game a little bit here.
Challenge now for East Carolina is finding rhythm against Cole Peschel, the D2 transfer from the College of Charleston, West Virginia, not Charleston, South Carolina. But his ability to work tempo and change tempo, that's been impressive tonight.
Absolutely. Been very patient as a pitcher, and what I mean by that is he's not in too much of a rush where he can't control what he's doing up there. You've seen a little bit of the hesitation. We've mentioned Johnny Cueto, but being able to execute those 3 pitches has been huge for him.
That one sneaks away. Now there is a sense of long time, delay your team on offense. How important is this first out or first at bat if you're East Carolina?
Huge. It's massive. You have to find a way to at least get one. You have to respond to that, near knockout punch by Grant Knipp. I know it's the 3rd inning, but we've mentioned it a few times. Those type of scenarios and that type of execution is what separates teams here in tough matchups like this one.
There's changing tempo, but missed on a release point. And you sort of see him talking to Dusty White, the pitching coach, kind of in movement there. Do you pick up that on those as a hitter, right? Because you've been in this moment in the box. Do you try to play off of that at all?
I think you do, but you also just have your own plan based on what, you've gone through the scouting reports with your coaching staff, and all these East Carolina hitters have seen him now once and probably seen all 3 pitches. If not, they've seen 2. So it's really just sticking to your plan and trying to find a way to execute for your team here.
There's the first strike of the inning for Peschel, who was excellent at Charleston, West Virginia. 9-1 record. And then you add in a 6-1 strikeout to walk ratio as an All-American at the D2 level. Shows you why as he works the count full. Last year's midweek starter for Campbell, Hunter Lloyd, is now in the minors. 3 of the top 4 starting arms gone via transfer or graduation. So now the payoff pitch. Cunningham's been red hot to start this season. Team best 6 hits. He's also scored a team high 4 times. And quite a battle here with Cole Peschel. Now the payoff is popped up. There's Max Weller. So to Cole Peschel's credit, 1 hit allowed. He's kept traffic at a minimum tonight.
I think the part that I like most about him is the way that he's been able to throw his changeup. You don't see too many right-handers anymore go away from the fastball slider combo, and everybody tries to hammer that with with velocity and spin rate, but the ability to change speeds with a pitch that looks the same and able to locate both, I think that's where he probably has the most value on the mound. And then he's just got this poise against the team he's never faced, a high rank. He just looks good.
Here's one of the best hitters, not only in the American Athletic, but in the country, Jacob Jenkins Coward. Such a wide, aggressive stance, and you combine that with elite patience. Last year, he had 13 doubles, but then you factor in 20 walks, so it's power and the ability to work the count.
The good hitters, they typically are able to punish the mistakes and take the pitches on the corner and a little bit off, and that's just what he's done over the past couple years.
Out in front of this pitch. This might have a chance for O'Shaughnessy.
What I've noticed from this Campbell defense so far that, and this is looking from scouting reports, this isn't necessarily just guessing, but they expect most of these lefties to pull the ball on the ground, and they're playing straight away in the outfield. But we haven't really seen any of the lefties from East Carolina use the 6-hole and go the other way.
Instead, it's strike 3 and able to touch the top of the zone.
And it's interesting because Campbell's almost like kind of pitching to it as well. They're pitching to the outer part of the plate with 2 strikes, but these lefties haven't been able to stay back and drive it to the opposite field. So most, if not everything, pitching-wise for the plan for Campbell has been going their way so far.
Chaz Myers will look to change that success. And credit to Cliff Godwin, the transfer portal. Myers did start 47 games last year. Not a huge power threat at the University of the Pacific. Out of the West Coast Conference, Gonzaga, an elite program in that league, won the regular season title. And now a slow roller to Chandler Riley. That's 4 quick innings for Cole Peschel. His Camels are up 3-0. We got plenty of baseball to go here when we return to Jim Perry Stadium.
Check out the rebooted Fighting Camel Club. Membership gives you access to exclusive gear, ticket opportunities, and experiences, all while helping change the lives of Campbell student athletes here at Campbell University.
With Colin Wolfe, I'm Evan Budrovich. Great night for college baseball here. Not only 2 elite programs in the last 5 years, but 2 programs off to nice starts. ECU a dominant sweep over Rider. Campbell wins 2 of 3 over previously ranked UCSB. What's been your impression on Campbell's approach and now their success offensively?
They've been very reliant so far in their 2 wins and here tonight on the big hit. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I would like to see a little bit more consistency, get to their stolen base game, get to their small ball execution. They're living and dying by the big hit, and they've been able to get it, which is awesome, but I think there's more depth to what they have to offer right now.
Eric Ritchie in his 2nd inning of relief. Never an easy task. The Campbell offense, the 3-run homer for Grant Knipp, their 5th of the year. Now, it was last year's team that set the country by storm, 123 home runs, which ended up 5th in the country behind Florida with Jack Caglione, 146 as a team. This is a tough test at third. Dixon all over it.
Now batting, second baseman, number 4, Chandler Riley.
So here's Chandler Riley. We noted the transition from third to second. He also was an elite working in the count and taking pitches last year. In fact, Chandler Riley led the Big South in walks, 48 walks. He only had 150 plate appearances. One of those 1-3 results, home run, walk, or strikeout kind of guy.
Yeah, and I touched on it a little bit this past weekend. I think what I would like to see from Chandler Riley is when he gets those early count fastballs, he's a good hitter. He needs to punish those fastballs. Don't worry about getting to 2 strikes. Let it eat a little bit, because especially when you have a track record, that's what people learn about you. They start seeing scouting reports. They start pitching you a little bit differently your second year after you blow up. And I think that's what teams might do to Chandler, so I would love to see him start jumping on pitches a little bit earlier. He's obviously got a great eye.
Able to lay off that pitch. Led the Camels in walks. And then he was top 20 in the country in earning walks. These are 2 very disciplined offenses. East Carolina and Campbell both averaged over 8 runs a game last year. This year, it's the Grant Knipp home run, the difference. And now Riley in a full count. Here's the payoff. And Riley goes down looking. Good pitch from Ritchie.
I want to go back to what I was saying. I believe this is the 3rd in the games that I've called, and this is my 2nd one this season. I believe that's the 3rd strikeout looking on the inside part of plate that I've seen Chandler. And it's not that he doesn't see it. For whatever reason, he's just not pulling the trigger. So I guarantee you he's going to look back at the tape, and that's something he's going to have to adjust on, and he'll do it. He's too good of a hitter not to.
Quick work for Eric Ritchie out of the pen. And now he faces Braden O'Shaughnessy. This one's ripped to second. Good snag there by Starling. And a stout East Carolina defense gets out of it. Quick work for Eric Ritchie, and through 4 in this dynamic matchup. Campbell has the early lead.
Capital Ford of Lillington, where it's all about the deal. We have a huge pre-owned inventory, plus we can customize your ride with wheels, tires, lift kits, 3M tint, and more. And if you need service, schedule online with our expert team of factory-certified technicians. People are driving to Lillington from all over. For the best price, lowest interest rates, lowest payment, and the most for your trade, the best deals are always at Capital at capitalfordoflillington.com.
Here at Papa John's, we know our stuff.
We know how to hand stuff our crust with more flavors than anyone else.
Like the blend of garlic herb ricotta and mozzarella in our new cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza. We're talking the flavors of your favorite calzone, now stuffed right into the crust of your pizza.
Hey, I mean, no one stuffs a crust like Papa John's.
Get a new cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza for a limited time, only at Papa John's.
Low-scoring game here in Bowie's Creek. We've got a great matchup of nationally ranked East Carolina and a Campbell team that's right on the doorstep of top 25 votes. You don't want to sum a game down to one pitch, but Grant Knipp's home run is the true difference in this game.
Yeah, and it's not like East Carolina hasn't had their chance or chances either. It's just Campbell's had one swing that gave him 3 runs. Both teams have played pretty clean, pitched it pretty clean. Sometimes it just takes that 1 or 2 big hits, and But the thing is, Evan, this game is far from over. In East Carolina, we talked about how these teams mirror each other. East Carolina's got that big bat too, so be looking out for that. There's a chance that they clutch up as well.
East Carolina's offense was absolutely cooking against Ryder. And there's something to be said about home road splits. Pirates average dropped just under 20 points on the road last year versus playing at home at Clark LeClaire.
How much of that has to do with the crowd, you think?
The electric atmosphere there in Greenville.
Awesome.
Set to host UNC on Sunday as part of a 3-game set with Williams a bit behind.
Saw that sold out today, I believe. Saw that on social media.
Not only that, but 2 programs that are both top 15 right now.
Yes, playing very good baseball.
With Coach Forbes resurrecting Carolina back to regional hosting type status. They were 2 seed last year in Iowa. Or sorry, at Indiana State against Iowa. Dixon Williams smacks the second hit of the game for the Pirates. And finally some offense here for ECU.
We've highlighted both defenses really a couple times, but this is where this Campbell defense needs to step up. You're getting into the top of the 5th. Your pitcher's been dealing for 4 innings. The momentum, you don't want to let the momentum shift. Couple hits here, it starts moving towards East Carolina. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Don't let it get past, I'd say 1 run probably.
Good stop there by Nip. And Luke Nowak, a dangerous threat in this lineup. 2nd team All-American, AAC, not America. That is kind of confusing.
It is.
The more you
It's tough
think
to say.
about that. East Carolina preseason favorite in the American Athletic with Charlotte right up there with them. That'll be a great in-state matchup this year. Coach Woodard has developed a good program down in Charlotte. Oh, wait, what happened there?
That's right in the lights.
Oh,
Spending 3 years there almost every night, you can learn where you can see and can't see it. That's one of the spots right there.
So now with back-to-back picks, that's essentially a green light for Williams, correct?
Yes, and now you kind of move into a new game. When are you going to throw your fastball a little bit further out of the zone to give Nip maybe a fighting chance?
Runner holds, and there's a big swing from Nowak. Nowak had 3 hits in this ballpark in a thrilling extra inning game last year. Remember, the last 10 meetings, each have been split 5 apiece. There's been 4 extra inning games in the last 10. Never an easy matchup when these 2 nearby rivals face. It's a great take.
And Nip tried to work it down from the top of the zone. It's tough when that curveball starts up and kind of stays up. It didn't really come down, so it's a good move by Nip, but they don't get the call.
Now the 3-1. Excellent take, but that is called a strike. Wow, Nip's ability to frame that pitch.
It's one of the only spots on the plate right there that isn't going to be hammered, sitting that 3-1 fastball with the runner on first. It's good execution there.
That ball would have been shot out of hell if it was put down the middle right there.
Absolutely. He's looking to pull the trigger.
Runner is off, and that one smacked up the middle. A chance for extra bases. Cliff Godwin puts up the stop sign, and East Carolina cooking.
Just puts a great swing on it. Nowak able to hustle. Good first step. Lines the ball over the second baseman. Double nearly all the way. Was surprised the ball didn't go into second there. It was too shallow to really score from first, but like we talked about, just going to go punch for punch. It feels like tonight, Evan.
If you're East Carolina here as Dusty White, the pitching coach, makes his way out. How much of a factor is small ball in this situation?
Well, I was thinking about that. I think you give him one at bat. I think you give Will Coxon one at bat. Obviously, he gets the one at bat, but I'm talking about for the team. You get one at bat. It's a lefty. Any rollover, Campbell's not going to be playing their infield in, trying to get the out at home or anything like that. You obviously want to drive a ball in the gap or hit a ball out and tie the game, blah, blah, blah. But what you want to do is make sure you get one here. We talked about it multiple times, and the Camels weren't able to do it. ECU hasn't been able to do it. The only swing that's really worked so far is Nip's backside home run. You have to find a way to score one, at least get on the board, know that you still got it, which they obviously do. Start chipping away at this 3-run lead. Know that you got 5 ABs, including this one here.
East Carolina's biggest chance of this game. 2 on, nobody out. And Justin Wilcoxon, who already has a base hit today.
I think if you're Campbell here, you just take the roll over to second base, give up a run, move on.
Easier said than done.
Sounds like we should just do it every time, right?
Wilcoxon last year, 3 for 5, had 2 doubles in this Campbell series. That was part of his breakout year behind the plate. Cole Peschel now ahead 0-2. Early in the game, it was 3-pitch control. Now he's had to grind through this third time through the order.
Well, and I think Wilcoxon kind of played in to the Camels pitching staff hand there, because you really are in the driver's seat. You can wait for a ball to come into the zone. Took a swing at the early curveball and then kind of chased that fastball there. Now you're in a 2-strike count.
That ground ball is perfect. Scores a run, and everyone's safe. East Carolina plays the shift to perfection.
You've kind of been waiting for them to do that, and I don't know that they've had an opportunity with a lefty with runners on second and third, but that ball is not hit harder than 75 miles an hour if I had to guess. And no one's even close to make that play.
Was it hit harder or farther? I'd probably say 60 feet, and it probably hit 65 miles an hour. But to your point, when the defense is played like that, it opens up an opportunity.
Well, in Campbell, you look at the percentages, and it's not like Campbell is like, well, what the heck are they doing? No, they're playing percentages. The percentage says they're going to roll the ball over here on the right side if they hit it on the ground. ECU's just going to break the percentage and hit the ball backside.
Joey Barini does go on that pitch, and Cliff Godwin wants an explanation. Instead, Joey Barini, second team all AAC, in a big spot here. Remember as well, Peschel had 4 strikeouts. He got ahead 0-2 on multiple hitters. ECU this inning, they've eliminated the strikeout option.
From a defensive standpoint for Campbell here, I think it's very important that you keep the runner on first off of second. Even if you don't turn the double play, you can't let there be 1 out runner on second and only get the out at first.
Dueling cheers from these two fan bases. Gives you a sense how much this game matters in the first midweek of the year.
You hear how much it matters to the fans. Imagine the players, right? And being able to be backed by these fan bases. It's just awesome to be a part of. As a player, it was awesome. Just up here in the booth, it's sweet to hear.
The 0-2 got him swinging. Good pitch by Peschel for his 5th K.
Yeah, Peschel just really grinding through some of his pitches here. Some of these at-bats are tough. He's throwing a couple really good backed up, backdoor sliders there.
Is that common to jump as well on the pitch? You see the shortstop there, Harris?
Yes, actually it's called a pre-pitch step or a first step.
I've seen in the big leagues where the guys will take the
Prep
little
step.
hop, but that was a...
Each person has their own.
Watch Harris here. Whoa, that gets hit by the pitch. And honestly, if you're Campbell, that might be the best result. Nowak's going to score if that ball gets down.
Absolutely. He is. And going back to your point about Trenton Harris at shortstop, his prep step. So they call it a prep step. You're really getting ready and anticipating where the ball is going to go. You don't want to be flat-footed when the ball is hit into play. Each person has a different style, though.
Big spot. Bases loaded for Jacob Starling, who last year hit over 350 with men on the bases.
I really don't like how deep Trenton Harris is playing. If a ball is hit to the shortstop, it's going to be very difficult to turn a double play. Corners obviously in. They're playing even with the bag, if not a little bit in on the grass. They're going to shoot 4 if it's a ball right at them. Chandler Riley playing right behind second base. He'll take all the double plays. Got to get a ground ball here.
Starling rips one down the line. East Carolina only 12-11 on the road last year. That was a bugaboo for the Pirates, especially in conference play. Cole Peschel facing a tight jam here. Already 3 hits in the inning for the Pirates. And now a 3-1 count.
Evan, I think this is one of those scenarios where you kind of just have to throw your best pitch down the middle, and that's going to be the fastball. You have to challenge whatever happens. You've kind of put yourself in this scenario.
Fouled away. Giving chase, Stallman, and he runs out of room. Absolutely standing room only crowd here in Buies Creek. And you can hear it here in the 5th. East Carolina threatening. Already a run in.
You either got to fool him and execute a very, very good slider, or you just got to take what they give you and see what he can do with the fastball. Big hole in the 4-hole over there.
The 3-2. That stays inside. And Starling with a great at-bat to cut this game to 1. How long is the leash here if you're a pitching coach for Campbell?
Oh, I think this is it. I think this is your last hitter. And it's not necessarily he's done a bad job. He might actually go now.
And there's Dusty White with the pitching change in order.
There you go. What do I know?
We'll take this timeout, get you back for the new arm when we return to Buies Creek.
Breakfast is good. But getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
the double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
Cowabunga Dude, it's a Huntington Beach, California product. Jeremy Wiegman. I figure that's how they say it out in California.
Something close to that.
With Colin Wolfe, I'm EvanBudrovich. All of a sudden, Campbell's closer and high leverage arm enters in the 5th inning. Jeremy Wiegman, what does this tell you about this spot now if you're Campbell from the bullpen?
I think you're giving your highest leverage opportunities to your high leverage pitcher, and we saw Wiegman on Saturday afternoon be able to come in and get the 2-inning win. What was supposed to be the 6-out save, he ended up snaking the win a little bit with Campbell offense coming back, but working with the arm side sinker, looking good, and then he also had a little cut action to his fastball. He was able to pair those and tunnel them, and it looked very, very good on Saturday afternoon, so we'll see what we can do here.
Jeremy Wiegman versus Carter Cunningham. A little late on the 91 fastball. Cunningham's had good at-bats today, despite being 0 for 2. And already 2 runs in for East Carolina. A chance to extend this lead. The Pirates had not trailed all season, had only surrendered 2 runs. And in a dogfight tonight. That ball could be 2. Riley starts it. Harris to first. Cleaning them up. Jeremy Wiegman. Job well done.
Chandler Riley looks pretty comfortable over at second base, though, doesn't he? Catches that ball deep, turn fire from the hip, able to turn the double play and get Campbell out of the inning.
We'll go to the bottom of the 5th in a tight one here in Buies Creek. Great defense here by Campbell.
We talked about it off air. Chandler Riley looks very comfortable there. Coach Herr was able to hype him up a little bit earlier today, talking about how his move from third to second has been pretty seamless. And you see right there, able to field the ground ball, throw it from the hip pocket, and Trent Harris with the good turn to get Campbell out of the inning.
That's the difference in this game. Otherwise, we're tied 3 apiece, and it shows you how important defense will be in this matchup.
Well, and if you don't get out there, you have to face the big bad Jenkins Cowart coming up next, right? And it's another situation where it's a big lefty versus a righty, and there's not many guys that Coach Herr wouldn't want facing him other than with Wiegman, but you stay away from that situation altogether by your defense picking you up with a double play.
I think the fairy tale of Big Bad Wolf would like his nickname back.
Is that right?
Jacob Jenkins Cowart's pretty good, but he's not Big Bad just yet.
Well, my last name is Wolf, so we'll have to reconsider.
I guess you're howling in the night there on Flow Sports. With the former Big South All-Conference standout, Colin Wolfe, I'm EvanBudrovich. Tight battle here in the 5th. And now Trent Harris in the bottom of this Campbell lineup. Trenton Ritchie, who did surrender the home run, but has been great getting out of a jam. His ability to mix speeds from the same arm slot, that seems challenging as a hitter.
It is, and that's why he's been, definitely talked about a little bit more into this year. It's just the deceptive arm slot and the way that he hides the ball a little bit. It's really tough for these righties, and then we've seen the lefties struggle with it probably even more as well.
Working ahead, 1-2 on Harris. Off the end of the bat, a little corkscrew. Starling can't grab it, and an infield single.
actually talked to Trenton Harris this past weekend and just asked him, like, hey, how are you feeling? And he said, I feel like I need to pull the trigger a little bit more. And so you see him, he takes 2 good hacks, doesn't come up with anything, but then the game, this is just how baseball works, it rewards you with the end cap past the left-hander who's falling off the other side of the mound. So if I talk to him again, I think he'll take it, Evan. I don't think he'll be too mad about that. And it didn't hit him in the helmet again, which is good.
A sneaky way to get your 3rd hit of the season if you're Trenton Harris. Actually, I take that back. That's his 1st hit of the season. His 3rd time getting on base.
There you go.
Do you put, okay, so that you'll save your 1st hit in the big league level. Is that the same in college?
I don't know. I did.
What was your 1st hit?
I hit a home run.
Well, I wonder why they saved it then.
You called it, though. That's why I kept it, because you called it.
Well, I mean.
Yep, so that's why I kept it.
With that kind of pleasantry, we'll be here forever.
That's right.
So Cliff Godwin getting ready to bring out his bullpen. We'll take a timeout in a tight one here in the 5th. Eric Ritchie's day is done. New arm for the Pirates come in when we return.
Sure, McDonald's breakfast is good. But getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
The double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
New arm out of the ECU bullpen, highly relied upon, Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman. 51 innings last year out of Cliff Godwin's pen, and he comes in now as a top 10 draft prospect in the American Athletic Conference. All of a sudden, both coaching staffs using some high leverage arms early in this game.
Yeah, it's been awesome to watch being here in the ballpark. The energy's up. Both coaches bringing in their high leverage guys in high leverage situations. It's awesome to be a part of it this early on in the season. It kind of does have that regional playoff baseball feel. It really does, Evan.
Lunsford-Shankman, excellent against Ryder. 5 Ks and 2 scoreless innings. And now he will face the top of the Campbell lineup. Dalen Thompson, elite speed, one of the tools that Justin Hare likes. Does small ball play a factor here if you're Hare with Thompson?
I would hope so. I would think so from past experience. It really depends on if Trenton Harris can get to second base. If they can, they'll probably put something in motion.
Able to lay off the slider. No swing. Lunsford-Shankman, 2 outings against Campbell last year. He also had 2 saves. Carter Spivey was fantastic in the Pirate pen, but Lunsford-Shankman right up there with him, and he pounds in strike 1. Now, the one thing the Pirates return is great starting pitching. Zach Root and Trey Savage. On the bullpen side, quality arms like Danny Beal. As this runner takes off, perfect throw! But the second baseman dropped it. So Starling can't squeeze it, and everybody's safe.
From up in the booth, I honestly was really surprised that Trenton Harris went. It didn't look like he had a great jump, but he still commits to it. Just an absolute seed down to second base. Catch, everything clean there, dives straight in. Starling just drops the ball, and now, like we talked about, just Coach Hare with two. Nah, he won't 2-2, but you still got to move the runner over to third base.
Great stop by Wilcoxon. And take me through that slide as a runner. What are you trying to do to tamper with the ball, get yourself safe? How are you playing that?
Well, I think that you know that the fielder's going straight to the base when it beats you by that much. You just got to go as hard as you can straight into the base, and rarely works out, but it did.
That pitch stays up, and then you get an extra 90 feet on the pass ball. So a couple of costly mistakes here for ECU.
This is going to be a really, really tough inning for Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman if his defense does not step up. You have first and third, no outs with a team that likes to run, a team that likes to play small ball, and a team that can bang the ball around the yard. You got 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for Campbell.
Here is the Big South leader in RBI and slugging last season, Lawson Harrell, the fifth-year senior. Lunsford-Shankman walking the tightrope. And Wilcoxon's been tested back there. And now pitching coach Austin Knight heads out there. Third year running his pitching staff. ECU does have arms ready. Pirates led the American in 9 pitching stats last year.
That's pretty good. 9 of 13, 14.
Yeah, I don't have the exact number, but it's not many.
Leading in 9 is great, high percentage. But they've kind of, not necessarily dominance, but they've always been consistent with that. They've always had guys that they can cycle in to the starting pitching staff for 1-2 years. They get drafted or they graduate, and then it's really just the next man up.
East Carolina, 21st in the country in ERA last year, led the American with a 4.3. And now Campbell threatening with its top hitter, Lawson Harrell. Somehow lays off that pitch. Tremendous check swing.
I talked about it on Saturday. I don't think you can throw him a fastball here. You obviously aren't going to walk him, but I don't think you challenge him. He's been too hot.
Good backdoor pitch. 2 home runs for Harrell in the Santa Barbara series. This off the year with 26 multi-hit games, 1 out of every 2 in Harrell's All Big South year. Now he takes.
I think that's the first call that either side has gotten on the inside corner. Haven't tried too much to get in there, but it was a great execution by Lunsford-Shankman getting the fastball in there on the inside half.
Runner takes off and a strikeout, and now interference is called. So the runner has to go back. Okay, let's see this again. As Justin Hare has some questions.
It's not on him swinging and falling over the plate. It's the follow through. The problem is that that's not something out of the ordinary for a hitter. If you watch Lawson take this hack here, he swings over it. He's not.
Oh, the bat.
Yeah, it's the bat comes back. So it's not necessarily defending Lawson in the scenario. It's kind of how are the umpires going to call it, because typically what it is the catcher catches it, moves forward towards second base to make his throw, and somehow is impeded in that motion, getting the ball to second base. Obviously getting hit in the back.
And this could be ruled a double play.
Yes,
that's what the catcher has an opportunity to go to second.
And that's what Coach Godwin is arguing. And I think what they came to is
he wasn't going to throw it.
He wasn't going to throw it.
So the runner goes back instead. Good umpiring there from Brian Peterson and his crew.
You don't see that happen too often, where it's just part of the swing. Typically,
now, if the catcher is attempting to throw it and the ball like skips on the ground,
that's when they'll stop play. They'll figure everything out, and the hitter will be out for sure, obviously, with the strikeout. but basically that's a reset, and you just get to first and third, 1 out.
Instead, Reed Stallman gets a chance. Stallman this year hitting .500 with men in scoring position. He's got some big shoes to fill over there at first. Drake Pearson, a 20 home run hitter a year ago. And now a fake steal with everyone retreating. That's how Campbell scored its game-winning run in extras last year in this ballpark.
You can see Dalen Thompson over there trying to put it together, and Trenton Harris gave it a shot, was able to still be safe on just a perfect throw. You got to get a really, really good jump if you're going to go against this ECU defense.
Instead, it's strike 2. Wyatt Lunsford Shankman needs a big pitch. Runner takes off, and Thompson is safe. Great speed from the nearby Dunn product.
We talked about him trying to put it together there over at first base. Dalen able to get just a straight steal, just beats him with speed, gets the good jump, is able to slide in safely. And what that does is it eliminates the traditional double play and gives Stallman a chance to roll one over for a run for Campbell.
The 2-2 works the count full.
East Carolina has kind of fell into this trap unintentionally where they have runners in scoring position and they're able to pitch their way out of it, and then they do it again and Grant Nipp's up. So Nipp's 1 for 2 in those situations. He's up next.
Now the payoff. Not even close. And Stallman loads the bases. And Wyatt Lunsford Shankman creating some of his own problems here. As here's the home run man from a moment ago. Grant Nipp goes from being the 8th or 9th piece in the nation's leading offense in runs to now right in the heart of the order, right in the heart of this game. Good stop by Wilcoxon. He's the heart valve for the offense tonight with that 3-run homer back in the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, and he was it this past weekend too against Santa Barbara. Lawson Harrell had the good day on Saturday, but Nipp, the leading hitter, coming out of the weekend, and he clutched up again today. He's trying to do it here.
Wyatt Lunsford Shankman, a high leverage arm out of Cliff Godwin's bullpen. Second on the team in innings last year, 51 out of the pen. And he was untouchable against Ryder this weekend. Little different story here in Bowie's Creek. And Nipp sends another into the sky. Johnston's got plenty of room. Here comes Harris. He is safe, and Thompson also to 3rd. Big move there by Thompson trying to tag.
Yes, and the reason why he does it is because he wants to draw that throw to 3rd. The only problem, hindsight, is that was a really, really good throw out there by Nowak over there to Williams at 3rd base. So if Dalen is tagged out over there before the run scored, the run doesn't count. But luckily, Campbells were fortunate that the ball was dropped, and that ends up being a sac fly.
It does feel like God's country here in North Carolina. 2 elite programs, great battle here in the 5th. Number 11, East Carolina on the brink of their first loss. Campbell searching for its 3rd ranked win after defeating UC Santa Barbara over the weekend. It's a good take.
Here's kind of the issue with hitters against Lunsford Shankman, because he hasn't necessarily given up crazy hard contact, right? The problem is that he throws 2 pitches, but they're both elite. And so as hitters, you can sit one and capitalize on one. That doesn't mean you're going to have success against him. So he pitched himself into a jam. It wasn't too hard of a ball hit to center field, but he does give up a run. limiting the Campbell offense to 1 here would be huge for East Carolina.
Dylan Kuntz does not go on the pitch. Remember, Kuntz missed all of last season with an injury. He is back and ready to roll in the middle of this lineup. 0 for 2 tonight. Takes a big swing there.
With full count, 2 outs, the runners will be going here. I really like that Kuntz sold out on the fastball. Here, Lunsford Shankman can kind of do both.
Now the payoff. Hard chopper. Starling dives. Nowhere to go. And Kuntz extends the lead. Campbell is putting a ton of pressure on ECU's defense right now.
They totally are. And what ECU was able to do to the Campbell infield, Campbell offense kind of does to the ECU infield, where they're playing ECU defensively in the infield is playing a little bit of a lefty shift. Kuntz is able to put a ball and play 2 strikes over the pitcher, capitalize and score a run.
Lunsford Shankman grinding here with Max Weller. Gives you a sense how much Game 4 of the season matters. Both teams using their high leverage relievers in the 5th. Not a typical midweek game. What's the approach here if you're Weller offensively?
I think sit slider. I think that's what Lunsford Shankman's going to go to when he needs to, especially with 2 strikes.
There's the slider. Max Weller in this offense very patient in the 5th inning. Over 20 pitches already. And Weller was cooking in the Big South last year at the end of the season. Hit .370 in conference play. That time he's not even close on that pitch. And the fastball caught him looking slider. Campbell does add 2 more. And this game remains tight as we head to the 6th. .104th meeting, Campbell and East Carolina, and another fantastic battle. Number 11, Pirates in danger of dropping their first game of the season. Jeremy Weekman back out there, the Campbell closer. He did throw a couple of innings on Saturday to secure this start. And so far, Colin, this game relatively even across the board. Now, the difference is the Grant Knipp home run and some situational hitting in the 5th.
Yeah, and outside of the Grant Knipp home run, like you said, it's been very similar on both sides. We talked about how these teams are mirrored in terms of roster, but they've kind of been mirrored in terms of execution as well. Being able to take advantage of the holes in the infield, being able to move runners, take extra bases. I wouldn't be surprised to watch ECU fight back inch by inch here in this game, because that's exactly what Campbell does too. So we'll see how it goes here.
Campbell, when leading after 6 innings last season, was 36-3. This is an important frame for Jacob Jenkins Coward in the heart of this Pirate order. Now tonight, Campbell has kept him off balance, 2 strikeouts. Not great approaches in his first 2 at-bats.
Until 2 strikes, Evan, I think I'm playing him pull. I've seen too many videos of him hitting balls into the jungle, onto the practice field at East Carolina.
Which side of the jungle? That place is rocking all over the place.
It's here. It's all the way here now.
5,000 attendance on Friday night at East Carolina. That was a opening day record, a sellout. Great crowd here tonight as well. And a big swing on 2-1. That's what us in the baseball world call a daddy hack.
It's true.
I assume you had a fair share of those in your Campbell career.
Oh, yeah, never hit him. Never hit the ball when I did. Nah.
I feel like you had a few home runs in your tenure.
Not when I was trying, I promise you.
The 2-2. Jenkins Coward, a dangerous threat in the heart of this Pirate order, but he's been kept in check tonight. Now a walk. Kick starts the 6th.
I don't necessarily blame Campbell trying to stay away from Jenkins Coward's bat. The only thing is when you're pitching away and trying to pitch away, you've gotten the strikeouts early in the game, but now you almost want to pitch to your defense a little bit. The relievers, they're going to probably burn out 1, maybe 2 innings if you're Wegman, so you want to challenge these guys to put the ball in play, help out your pitcher, lengthen out the pen a little bit.
So Chaz Myers falls behind. Chaz is a big piece of a rotating DH rule. Josh Moylan held that ground down very well last year. All-conference outfielder with 20 doubles for the Pirates. Remember, Jeremy Wiegman earned the save on Saturday. He's right back out here on short rest. And that's popped foul.
Oh, good play.
Okay, Jeff Palumbo.
I was going to say, who is that, Evan? Who is that?
That's Coach Palumbo. Longtime associate head coach in his 10th year.
Should be the defensive coach if he's not. Looks good.
Chaz Myers down 0-2. Able to fight off another.
Look at it. Ball right back to him again.
Hey, Coach Palumbo is an elite recruiter.
Come on.
And clearly he knows how to play the position.
Yeah.
His counterpart, Cliff Godwin, have been together since day one. He's over at third base.
Odds the ball goes back to him?
Hey, if it's the third time, you got to throw a party for that. Coach Godwin's program, 6 40-win years since 2015. And both him and Justin Hare have a similar tenure in terms of success the last 10 years. And more attention over to first. ECU, Campbell, and Wright State lead the country with most consecutive tournament championships and regular season titles. Two of the best winning programs right here. Slow roller to O'Shaughnessy, and he's got it for the first out.
It's a smart play by O'Shaughnessy. Even though you would love to get the lead out there, you're playing with a 3-run lead. At this point in the game, when you're top 6, you want to trade bases for outs sometimes, and this is one of those scenarios. So he just comes up, fields it one hand, comes through the baseball, throws it on the run, easy out. Now you got one out. If that runner on second scores, but you trade an out here, is what it is.
This is not a version of East Carolina that has a ton of power. Last year's team, 75 home runs. But the coaching staff loves the discipline, loves the plate appearance. Love the mentality in the box. Here's Dixon Williams. And when you play in a big ballpark like this, it does affect how teams try to attack things offensively.
Yeah, and I think that's not necessarily that you're trying to be negative towards their offense as much as they take advantage of what they have at home and the atmosphere and the way that their lefties can pull the ball in the air.
That was a good smack towards the Campbell dugout.
We saw in the first inning on that ball to Dalen out in right center, the ball just kind of dies once it gets to the gap.
Dixon Williams, whose dad was a standout at UNC Wilmington, a fellow CAA competitor. Grinding here on 2-1. Another foul ball. Campbell's only posted one strikeout in their last 3 innings. It's been a disciplined approach here for the Pirates.
I also think looking back, ECU wants pitches like that back. The 3-1 that's inside. Campbell hasn't been inside to the lefties much.
That pitch is called a strike. And Williams can't believe it.
So like I said, they haven't been inside to the lefties too much. Everything's been breaking away with the Campbell right-handers throwing the sinkers and the change-ups away. So then the 3-1, he throws the backed-up sinker inside, catches the corner, and there he just goes almost a back foot slider, able to catch the corner, and ECU probably not looking for it if I had to guess. They haven't been doing it all game.
On a night where #1 Wake Forest has gone down at UNC Greensboro, there are more upsets brewing. Gives you a sense of how tight college baseball is right now.
Especially in North Carolina, I guess.
9 ranked teams among the 2 Carolinas. And a good play by the pitcher. Wigman helps himself, and a scoreless 6th. What a battle we have tonight. Number 11, East Carolina, and the upstart Campbell Camels up 3 here late.
Sure, McDonald's breakfast is good. But getting that McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being served, that tastes even better.
Hey, grab me one too.
The double quarter pounder with cheese, fresh off the grill, cooked when I order it and not a moment before. And juicy? Hey, listen, I keep my napkin game up because I'm not trying to have this drip on my drip.
Here's what's coming up for the Campbell Fighting Camels. Difficult slate. Carolina Coastal in the midweek the next couple of weeks, and Georgia Southern, very good program on the road. This will be an interesting month for Campbell, their program.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The way Coach Hare has pretty much always done his scheduling is he tries to give the team challenges early on, and a lot of these Power 5 conference teams, and you're talking about even Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, those caliber teams are always a good test early on.
Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman continues effort for the ECU bullpen. Now the Pirates have a great stretch coming up. North Carolina for the next 3, and then Old Dominion along with a feisty VCU club. That'll be a good stretch for Cliff Godwin's team. So here's Chandler Riley. Riley made a huge play defensively to turn that double play to end the 5th. And now he's showing maybe his best virtue, patience at the plate.
Home plate umpire hasn't really extended the plate away for the lefties tonight. I've liked how consistent he's been.
That one's hit hard.
That swing by Chandler Raleigh is kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Being able to be aggressive in what I call cheat counts, the ones where you know there's a high chance of a fastball. See if you can get away with one.
It's only cheating if you get caught, though.
It's true.
So
sometimes you do.
Stays outside.
Those are the pop-ups.
Yeah. Or that slider in the dirt, yes. You go right through it.
Yep, and you look down and your coach is just shaking his head.
This time, no need to cheat when you get a free pass to start the 6th inning. Leadoff runner is reached in 3 of the last 4 innings for Campbell. Of course, they scored the 3 in the 3rd and then 2 more in the 5th. And now Braden O'Shaughnessy. So he attempts to bunt. That is put down nicely. And the only play to first. Did they hit the plate and skip forward?
It definitely looked like it got a bigger jump than usual right off the bat. Typically, when you bunt a little bit above the ball, it'll spin and catch, and sometimes on this turf it does that too, but either way, that's executed perfectly. ECU takes what's given, make the out. Now you got a runner in second, 1 out. That's just baseball right there, just clean baseball.
Small ball has been a factor for Justin here throughout his tenure here, 10 years in. 2 coaches on similar trajectories, and they both have had similar success. Now, East Carolina's made super regionals, and Campbell has not gotten to that point yet. But a track record of winning for these 2 programs. Of course, these teams met in the 2019 regional final.
I remember.
Both made regional finals this year as well.
Yes.
You were part of that doubleheader day.
Loved it.
Quick work for Lunsford Shankman. There's 2 quick outs.
We talked about how Lunsford Shankman has kind of been relying on the fastball and the slider, and really it hasn't mattered. There hasn't been too much hard contact against him. He can rely on both, and that slider is just very, very good tonight.
2 outs for Dalen Thompson, who's reached base twice.
Yeah, I almost made a regional with Campbell, and then ECU had a guy by the name of Alec Burleson, now with the Cardinals.
Elite 2-way player.
Kind of dominated. Really nice guy, though.
Sometimes nice guys do finish first.
I want to say his first home run in the bigs was off a position guy, too. Kind of interesting.
Dalen Thompson. Wow, how about Wyatt Lunsford Shankman? 6 quick pitches to get out of that threat. And we'll go to the 7th and a tight one for the opening midweek of the year.
Look at this right here. Leaning on the slider. How you doing? Keep it moving. Sticks it.
tight one here in Buies Creek, North Carolina. Number 11, East Carolina, struggling offensively tonight. 2 runs on 4 hits, and Justin Wilcoxon hits into the shift. Good scoop there by Trenton Harris, the shortstop, for the first out. Oh, pardon me, that's Chandler Riley, the second baseman.
So I was going to touch on that, and I noticed it just before the pitch. What Campbell has kind of always done, at least in the years that I've been there, which started in 2019, and since then, since I've been, a part of it, they've always left their second baseman on the big lefty shifts in the second base spot and let the shortstop go in the hole when there's nobody on.
Is that because of a natural movement on the ball, like you're playing the ball on your right side?
Yeah, typically, and sometimes your shortstop has a little bit more range, so you'll let him go play a little bit deeper, and probably has a little bit stronger arm too, but worked out there.
Oh, that ball almost hits Joey Baraney. Wait, it does. And Baraney is on with 1 out. And now Cliff Godwin will make a pitch running substitution. Nathan Chrisman comes in, the sophomore to China Grove, North Carolina. Here's Riley Johnson. He literally looks like a carbon copy of Lane Hoover.
Yes, I was thinking that the whole game.
Instead, a take and strike. Now you see the confusion there after that pitch. They can go one of 2 ways, but a little frustration there for Johnson.
Hoover was the one that brought that home run back, right?
And a multi-time all-conference stud. Oh,
yes.
Hoover started over 200 games in his Pirate career, over 4+ years.
Contact guy, yeah.
Runner now goes, hold on, it's a bluff. With that type of jump, Crimson has a great chance at second base.
I think what Coach Cliff Godwin, is doing is trying to take the attention away from the hitter. I don't necessarily know that we steal here.
But you work a hitter's count.
Exactly. You're just trying to find a way to get the pitcher's attention off of the hitter. It's just another game within a game like we've been talking about.
So Riley Johnson in a hitter's count. Man, this game feels like it's the first weekend in June already.
Yes.
Postseason play, slow tempo, both teams grinding on at bats. Nothing moves quickly when these 2 teams meet. Which gives you a feel for postseason play, certainly.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, it feels like the first weekend in June. It feels like a regional matchup where, winner gets to the semifinal or gets to the final. That's the caliber of these teams.
It's a good strike 2 there from Weigman.
I think now is where Coach Godwin's gonna put the runner on first in motion and see if Riley Johnson can put something in play and catch the defense a little bit out of sorts.
Instead, ball 4, and now 2 on for the Pirates. And here's where Jacob Starling can be dangerous. He has been quiet the last 2 years against Campbell. And now Dusty White heads out for a meeting. Any thoughts on this meeting here, Colin?
To be honest, I think it's the defensive or pitching version of what Coach Godwin just did. You're trying to take attention away from the fact that you're in a first and second 1-out scenario. But what's been good with Weigman, his this outing and back on Saturday, is he's been able to get the ground ball when he's needed it. And so I think that's really what Dusty White's up there saying. Hey, Let's work at the bottom of the zone here, see if we can get a ground ball to our middle infield and let them work.
Dusty Whitey, former national champion at Wingate, and a tremendous developer of pitching talent at the D2 level. It's interesting, that padding looks like the ball hits the brick. Like it's got fake indentations on the padding.
It's true.
Unique stuff. So Jacob Starling now up. And that ball sneaks away from Grant Knipp. Now this changes the whole approach if you're Starling offensively.
Depending on where Campbell positions their infielders, this is one of those scenarios, especially it's only top 7, you have an out to give. A ground ball out the middle scores you 1. That's not the worst thing in the world here.
That one's ripped out of play. Big Pirate contingent getting loud. And this one is popped up. Chandler Riley all over it. And that is not a productive second out.
As a pitcher, that's what you're praying for. You either get the strikeout with runners on second and third, 1 out, or you get a pop out. Ideal for the Camels there. Now you got 2 outs. Hopefully can get a ground ball here, get out of the inning.
So junior Carter Cunningham. And he could tie it here. Not only tie it, but find some offense for East Carolina. 5 left on, bunch of chances the last 2 innings.
I'll tell you what, Evan, you do not want to walk this guy and get to Jenkins Cowart.
Part changeup, part ephus there, fouled away. Weigman does it again, and it's fair, a base hit. 2 in for the Pirates, and a clutch first hit for Carter Cunningham. You play with fire long enough, and it'll burn you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that ECU hasn't had their chances. They just haven't been able to capitalize. And so that's been the difference in this game so far, and now they do. And now you got your best hitter up with a runner on second, chance to do damage.
Jenkins Cowart fouls that one away. He's got big swing ability to change this game.
I'm not sure he's ever taken anything but a big swing, at least at ECU.
The Greensboro native, he's got big power. 24 home runs in his East Carolina career. Oh, looking for 25 right there.
We saw how far Nips went. He's right-handed.
Well, I parked 3 rows back out there in right field, so I made the mistake. Weigman versus Jenkins Cowart. Advantage Campbell Camels. Big punch out, but not before East Carolina gets 2 more. And we're back in a tight one as we stretch here at Jim Perry Stadium.
Welcome to Smithfield. How may I help you?
Mattamy Homes, building better, smarter homes, including new neighborhoods just minutes away from Campbell's campus. Also building a pretty good atmosphere here at Jim Perry Stadium. Blankets and all. It is a chilly night tonight. Also a red-hot baseball game. 1-run difference, number 11, East Carolina. Campbell fresh off a series win over UCSB in the national rankings. And now Lawson Harrell will lead things off against Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman. Now in a 1-run game, how important is that strikeout by Wiegman to end the top half? Harrell shoots one. Fair! Just past Dixon Williams' glove. And a leadoff extra base hit for Harrell.
The thing about Lawson Harrell, I was calling it the Lawson Harrell experience this past weekend because that's kind of what it is. His ability to pick and choose when he's able to unload a swing on the pitches he wants. It's just been uncanny the past couple seasons.
Does small ball play a factor here now if you're Reed Stallman?
Not righty, lefty, I don't think. I think they let him swing. Because if he rolls one over, he still moves him over.
And if you bunt him to third, then everyone's safe.
Right.
That's the fun part of baseball.
Well, we know that Coach Hare has never been shy bunting with anybody in any spot in the order.
Stallman buckled and did not go.
The way Lunsford-Shankman has been able to tunnel the slider off the fastball is why he's only given up 1 hit and struck out 4 guys.
There it is right there for strike 2. And came in a tight spot in the middle of this game. Has kept ECU in check. Missing that time to Reed Stallman, who blasted 15 home runs last year at Des Moines, Iowa Community College. Has the face from Phineas and Ferb. You've seen the TV show growing up. He's got a pretty good bat as well. This time takes all the way for strike 3. Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman with 5 Ks.
East Carolina pitchers, outside of the nip home run, have kind of been able to clutch up, and both pitchers on both sides for Campbell and for ECU, they haven't really used the inside part of the plate too much, and so these hitters are now being surprised on fastballs that might be middle in on TV that we see, but it's really tough to pick up when they're hammering sliders.
Grant Knipp with the 3-run bomb in the 3rd. This time he can't hold up. Campbell's home run leader in a battle here with ECU stud arm, Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman. And you're right, that slider matchup, it creates a challenge for right-handed hitters.
Well, and this slider isn't breaking until the cut of the, the green and brown there in the turf. It's such a late movement, but it's so sharp, it's hard to pick up. We haven't seen too many righties swing through the slider, but we've seen plenty check swing, and that just shows how hard it is to pick it up, how late it breaks.
Good swing there, but advantage Lunsford-Shankman. East Carolina, 2 big runs in the 7th. Now want to keep this a 1-run game. And a full count. Campbell scored its highest run total of the year in the 7th last season. Part of a near record, 46 wins. That time, Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman wins the battle.
I'm convinced that Lunsford Shankman could throw 100% sliders and still find a way to compete. He has been lights out with the slider. His 6th strikeout in 2 2/3 innings. Campbell's been unable to put the ball in play hard against him.
Good pitch to Dylan Koontz. That's the same pitch every time.
Every time. And it's not easy as a hitter. I mean, this is an elite arm. If you're sitting at home and thinking, well, why doesn't he just sit slider and hit it? Because it's hard. It's a good pitch. He's going to keep throwing it, too. There's no reason he needs to go away from it.
As long as that arm can hold up, you keep it coming.
He's single-handedly keeping ECU in the game.
Now the 0-2. That time the, ooh, good take on the fastball.
ECU fans don't like it, but him just missing there set up any pitch he wants to throw anywhere here.
The 1-2. That time he gets him. Wyatt Lunsford Shankman, 7 punch-outs to end the 7th.
Made fresh daily. Service with a smile.
Oh, wow.
Fresh and fast, just for you.
Come back and see us. Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Should I be selling right now? I gotta get a bigger place. What's my house worth? What do you think?
What's my house really worth?
Do we need to renovate? How do I buy a house?
What if I don't have time to see it in person?
What is going on with this housing market?
Don't worry. I can take the guesswork out of it.
One of the unique names in college baseball, Packy Bradley Cooney. Not a law firm, but a reliever for the Campbell Fighting Camels. And all of a sudden, Cole, Christian, Colin.
There you go.
Whatever your name is. No, I'm just kidding. With Colin Wolf, I'm EvanBudrovich. Big-time arm, big-time moment for Justin Hare's bullpen.
Yeah, this is huge. Wegman came in. He did it on Saturday. Did it a little bit today. Was able to wiggle out of some jams. Gave up 2 runs over, I believe it was 3 innings. Parts of 3 innings. So it's just really next man up for this Campbell bullpen. A lot of these guys are getting their first appearance in Division I baseball. But that's what these moments are for. And who better to do it against than some of the best teams in the country. And that's what Packy's up against today.
Already 1 appearance this year, and all of a sudden, an East Carolina lineup that is cooking right now, and Jacob Jenkins-Coward would love to change the game here with 1 swing. Packy Bradley Cooney played at CCBC Essex. Great basketball program in Maryland, great baseball as well. 3 innings scoreless in the Game 3 win over the Gauchos. And now he'll face Cam Claunch, a pitch hitter for the Pirates. Claunch did start 21 games last year, but he is a situational matchup nightmare for opposing pitchers. And he's rocking great drip.
Is that right?
Keep that in mind.
All right.
Bradley Cooney's rocking a great slider, but that'll stay down. When the drip has your own number on it, you know you're destined for greatness. LeBron James, number 6. Now he's 23, but back in his Miami Heat days. Cam Claunch was on local Pirate Radio this week, breaking down the 3-0 series sweep of Ryder. He loved the atmosphere. He loved getting back in the groove, and he thought his team responded very well, especially given the first week of the season. And the Pirates right now are being tested here in the 8th. Good pitch from Packy Bradley Cooney. That might be an all baseball name. I know D1 baseball has their best names in the sport every year.
My favorite was Zacchaeus Raspberry. It's my favorite one of all time.
The 2-2. Good name and good stuff as Cam Clonch fights it away. Itchy Burt's was always one of my favorites from, I think he was from UT San Antonio out there in Texas. Packy Bradley Cooney back to it here on 2-2. Forces weak contact. Nip runs out of room. Oh, but the fan caught it. It's not Savannah Banana Ball. Everyone's good to go. East Carolina 2 runs in the 7th, have gotten right back in this one. So Packy Bradley Cooney way outside. What's the approach here on 3-2?
Stay late and put the ball in play on the ground. Any ball past the pitcher on the left side that the third baseman can't get to is a hit.
So here comes the payoff pitch. Outside, and a good start for the Pirates. And now a pitch runner coming in for ECU. That's Bristol Carter.
That's one thing I've always liked about Godwin's offense is he utilizes nearly every person that suits up that day. Whether it's running or coming into bunt or play defense or pinch hit at bats. I've always admired that about his play style, that, you know, the way he controls his team like that.
So Cliff Godwin, 10th year head coach here in Greenville, having an offensive conversation. Okay, there's the pitch runner coming in. Now it's Dixon Williams' turn.
Campbell did it earlier where they laid down a sacrifice bunt and East Carolina just played it. Just played defense, got the out, let the runner go to second. Don't do too much. I feel like that's what's going to happen here from both sides of the ball.
Runner takes off, and a great opposite field base hit. Little hit and run action. So first and second and nobody out. That is great coaching by Cliff Godwin.
Absolutely, and I don't know if we can show this here, but the reason why he stays at second base, he actually dives into second base, is because Trenton Harris, he's not faking a catch or faking a tag or anything like that, but he sits there as if the throw is coming from the catcher. And what that does is it forces the runner to dive in. He didn't peek to look where the ball was going. That runner from first should advance to third, but it doesn't, and it keeps the double play in order.
Justin here had a question for the home plate umpire. So Luke Nowak now gets a big at-bat. Huge spot for Packy Bradley Cooney in his second career appearance. That left side of the infield's wide open right now.
It's huge. Really playing percentages here. And playing for the bunt, too, with the first baseman creeping in.
Here's the bunt. What's the mindset here defensively for that middle infield? What are you trying to do?
Well, for the middle infield, it's tough, especially with a lefty up. Trenton Harris has to keep the runner close to second base because Chandler Riley at second base is going to go cover first.
And now a 2-0 count.
Unfortunately, for any team, none of the defense matters if you can't throw strikes here, and that's going to be the challenge, especially when you know that they're squaring around to bunt. Any pitcher will tell you that. It's typically harder when you know what they're doing. They square early like this.
Nowak squares. Unable to execute. That's a point-blank miss.
Coach Hare has just raved about Reed's defense over here at first base, the lefty. If this ball's bunted anywhere towards the right side of the infield, I'd look to him to go to third base for the force.
Now a late bunt goes foul, and Nowak's falling out of the box a little early on that bunt. I don't think you're trying to get yourself on in this situation. A little new school, old school style of bunting.
I don't know that this is the situation for him, but for me, the longer I squared, the more tense I felt. So I tend to square a little bit later. He's been squaring super early. You're waiting for a long time for that ball to get to home plate. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Cliff Godwin puts it on again.
How about this? 2-2. Big pitch. Bradley Cooney. This is inside. Daring the first-year Camel arm to throw a strike. Huge battle in this 8th inning. Now the payoff pitch is outside, and the bases are juiced. Right now, Packy Bradley Cooney stays in there in a huge spot. And here's Justin Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon, a preseason All-AAC standout. What can he do here? Big swing. Two walks and a single. Even the count. There have been 3 wild pitches today for Campbell's staff.
Ground ball to normal second base here is a base hit. That's how far that gap is. So
a check swing and a miss. That pitch was filthy.
That's pitching ninja right there. Able to get a sword on him.
Rob, you listening?
There you go.
Still one big pitch to go. Packy Bradley Cooney in a bases-loaded jam. Here's his 1-2. That rolls foul. And we contact. We'll score a run right now if you're ECU.
I was looking at the way that Campbell's defense is aligned here. It's the same positioning that got the ground ball double play to Chandler Riley earlier in the game, but it looks like maybe only the third baseman is going to be coming home on this ground ball if it goes to him. The first baseman looks like he might just go to second base or touch the bag.
Another foul ball. ECU cashed in 2 critical runs in the 7th on the Carter Cunningham base hit. Packy Bradley Cooney in his own mess. Here's the 1-2. Got him looking. Huge backdoor bender for the first one.
Bradley Cooney needed to clutch up, executes a beautiful backdoor slider. You can see here, chooses to go from the windup. Nip able to get outside, move it back into the plate. Presented good for the home plate umpire. This allows Campbell to now play for the double play. Not that they weren't, but a double play gets them out of the inning with no runs scored.
Here's Nathan Chrism. A healthy swing there. East Carolina has left 6. They have 3 big ones right now.
And don't get me wrong, East Carolina still has a chance to do a lot of damage here. 1 or 2 hits puts them up 3 or 4 runs, and Campbell's got to come back.
Hold on, the thought of a squeeze.
I love it. No one's thinking it. Yeah, maybe Godwin and Justin Hare, maybe, right? But it's something that surprises everybody. It's not that Campbell defense couldn't field it and make that at home if it happens. It's that no one's expecting it.
What does Nathan Chisholm have drawn up here? It's all the way down for ball 2. Huge spot for Packy Bradley Cooney out of the Campbell pen. Squeeze! That's put down to the plate and safe! Everyone's safe for the Pirates.
And this right here is exactly why you do something like this. It almost doesn't make sense. It's a force everywhere, right? Well, the thing is, it puts the defense in a situation that you rarely practice, the force out at home. Typically, the catcher will stay home for the tag, but the ball's so close to Grant Knipp at home, he's going to try and make the play. Once he gets the ball, there's no play anywhere. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
Great bunt by Chisholm. And now it's Riley Johnson. Riley fouls one away. Makes you wonder, he could try this again if you're Cliff Godwin.
I'll tell you what, 2019, we played at East Carolina, and when I say we, I played third base for Campbell at the time, and Campbell lost on a bases-loaded, 1-out safety squeeze, walk-off. So he has no fear doing it again.
All of a sudden, it's 0-2. 2 walks and a squeeze. The big difference in this 8th inning. On a night where number 1 Wake Forest has gone down. Number 11 ECU crawling from behind. And has life. Chandler to second. Harris is late. And the Pirates have their first lead.
This is the perfect defensive positioning. The only problem is the depth. Because that ground ball isn't barreled up, it's a little off the handle, it doesn't give the middle infield enough time to turn the double play. It was actually a great play from Chandler Riley and Trenton Harris up the middle, but it's not quick enough to beat the runner to first.
So Jacob Starling gets new life. Runner breaks and he has second.
You saw the umpire step out and wave his arm like that. That means that the pitcher's choosing to go in the windup.
And East Carolina tonight executing the small ball perfectly.
And I think that's a testament to Coach Godwin recognizing, okay, we aren't getting the big hits when we need it. Let's start executing in a different fashion of what we can do, and ECU's done a great job of that.
Two elite programs coming off 45-plus win seasons, and it's a tight one here in the 8th. Packy Bradley Cooney in his own jam. 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
Just missed that.
Now the 2-2. Great stop. Now the payoff pitch. Good battle here from Starling. Every time Campbell's looked for the big punch out, ECU has fought off a couple of pitches. In-state rivals, two great programs battled it out. And now the payoff pitch. Another foul ball. Now the payoff. That time not even close, and a big win for Jacob Starling. And now this crowd is more pro-purple than pro-orange right now.
Deservedly so, excuse me. The way that they've been able to fight back, and they haven't done it with a really a big hit. They had the backside double to score 2 in the top of the 7th, but here in the 8th, it's just been execution and finding ways to move runners.
So we'll take a timeout for a pitching change. New arm for the Campbell Camels when we come back. New arm Jackson Roberts out of the Campbell bullpen, former freshman of the year in the Big South for the Greensboro native, and now he's caught in a tight jam here in this 8th inning. What does Roberts bring to the table for Campbell, Colin?
Well, what I like about Roberts is how competitive he is, and he doesn't necessarily compete with velocity, which is what everybody in the baseball world seems to be chasing, right? Velocity and strikeouts. Well, he's going to be probably up to 92 on a good day, maybe a couple 93s, but he executes his pitches on the edges of the plate and gives his defense a chance to make plays and get some strikeouts with it as well, being able to spot up. So he's kind of, Coach Hare talked about it, Jackson Roberts, with his experience last year, is going to be kind of the main guy moving here in the season out of the pen.
Carter Cunningham after the first pitch. Max Weller with room, and there you go. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-run lead, ECU's bullpen up to the test here in Buies Creek.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
Welcome back to Jim Perry Stadium with the former Big South slugger Colin Wolfe. I'm EvanBudrovich. Campbell led 5-2 early. How about the East Carolina resolve to bounce back and take the lead?
Yeah, they've really just been clawing back. They've had the 1 double, 2 RBI double to score runners from second and first. But other than that, it's just been Cliff Godden finding the best guys to execute in the scenarios that they've been put in. So they've done a good job.
Small ball execution leads to a call to the bullpen now. And if you're Campbell offensively, this is a tough task against a very good ECU bullpen. And the new arm coming in is Jaden Winter. Remember, ECU as a staff only surrendered or gave up 2 runs in the first 3 games, and now it's up to a relatively new arm. Jaden's only thrown 1 inning this year, and he'll look to stop right in the bottom third of the Campbell lineup.
I think what we can kind of recognize just from up here in the booth, that both coaches have put in guys who are kind of their stoppers and who they're kind of projecting to be the high leverage guys, but they've also put in a couple guys that it's kind of like prove-it situations against, each of them being top 40 teams, top 35 teams. So each pitching staff has a challenge against a high-powered offense that can beat you in multiple ways.
Death by 1,000 cuts and 1,000 bunts today if you're East Carolina. This would be ECU's first win in 4 meetings against Campbell. Swept the regular season series last year. So now it's Max Weller. Weller's been kept in check. 0 for 3 tonight. Oh, look at that pitch. Full off the table.
The angle that Winter has is just so downhill. So that curveball is straight 12-6. You really have to try and hit under it in order to get a good barrel on it.
There's the heat. Jaden Winter, only 10 innings last year. He was not a highly sought-after arm. That was Danny Beal, the closer, and Josh Groves, starter and reliever. Those two were excellent. As Weller fights it off. I think you would have caught that. Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yeah, you had your hand ready.
I hope.
That is your bare hand.
I'd find a way.
Garrett Saylor also graduated from this elite bullpen last year. And got him with a fastball. Good start for Jaden Winter.
ECU, from what I remember, the past 4 or 5 years, have had a few of these guys where their arm slot is pretty high. When that happens and they spin the ball a ton, the ball almost feels like it isn't coming down towards the hitter. So when he pitches at the top of the zone, it's going to generate a lot of swing and misses, and that's what we saw there.
It's Chandler Riley's turn. And he takes the top of his own strike. You're right, that fastball just naturally stays up. It doesn't truly snap down. Campbell last year when trailing after 8, just 2-14. This is advantage East Carolina right now. This crowd has gone dead quiet here in Buies Creek. Credit East Carolina coming to life. 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 7th. Riley with a drive. That stays up and is dropped. Now Chandler heads for 2. Nowak's throw not there.
Let's take a look here. Chandler trying to cheat that fastball. It was kind of the same thing. The left fielder earlier had a step back on one of Lawson's balls hit out there, and it's tough to read here at Jim Perry Stadium sometimes, so that ball dies off the end of the bat. Great effort, but misses it again, and now you have a runner on second, 1-out situation for the Campbell offense.
Here's Braden O'Shaughnessy. Almost hits his helmet. Wearing the number of former first-round draft pick Thomas Harrington. That's a whiff.
That's gross.
By the way, Colin, there's your number at second base.
Hey, it works. Christian Jones' number. That's not my number. Christian Jones. If he's watching, he'll appreciate that. You better text me if you heard that.
Tight battle here in the 8th. ECU with 2 more runs. And O'Shaughnessy can't time up this breaking ball. Now the 1-2. Good battle. These teams will meet again May 14th in Greenville. For the last 5 years, first and final midweek game, and it's always entertaining. Another 1-2. O'Shaughnessy fights off a good pitch from Jaden Winter.
I think you have to go back to the off speed here.
That stays high. Good looking pitch.
I'm not sure where that missed, to be honest. If it missed, it's high. But I'm surprised because this umpire's been given not necessarily the top of the zone, but higher than we've seen this past weekend here at Jim Perry Stadium.
Jaden Winter tries it again. No bite.
Nine-hitter coming up. I think you go back to the off speed. I really do. You put the force in play. I know that would be the go-ahead run, but I don't know that I would throw a fastball here.
A lot of decisions for Jaden Winter here on 3-2. Nothing but heat.
He did.
That was ruled a single for Chandler Riley, so he's now in scoring position. Pitch 8 to O'Shaughnessy. Not even close, and the runner goes to third. Now the creativity can be a factor for Justin Hare.
Baseball's such an awesome game. I really just sit back and admire the situations that come up for both teams. We've talked seriously like 4 or 5 times. These teams mirror each other in roster, the way that they build their rosters, the way that they play, their pitching staff, the way they execute their offense. And now it's like ECU gets a chance with second and third, and now Campbell gets a chance. It's been back and forth all game, and now it's really just who can execute better with runners in scoring position. And it's not necessarily about hits.
Cliff Godwin's going to make a call to the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. New arm enters for East Carolina here in this one-run game.
It's bow time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
East Carolina to its closer here in the 8th inning. Danny Beal, preseason All-AAC, on the watch list for National Stopper of the Year. And this is a big-time moment with Campbell threatening 1st and 3rd and 1 out.
Just another part of the gamesmanship, Evan. You bring in a guy he's Stopper of the Year watch list. We were talking about it off air. To bring in and face the 9-hitter, but it's not necessarily about that, because now the Campbell offense has the ability to potentially play some Cliff Godwin on Cliff Godwin. Work some small ball, work some 1st and 3rd situation, or do they just let him hit?
So here's Trenton Harris taking all the way.
I got to imagine that he put something on here. He gave him one pitch to swing at if he wanted to. Got a slider, maybe a safety squeeze here.
Here's the squeeze. Not safety, though. Or suicide.
Correct. With the safety squeeze, you saw ECU execute it perfectly, really, and it was bases loaded. You're trying to bunt the ball within probably 10 feet, maybe 8 feet of the first base line.
Runners go. Here's the bunt. Throw to second is wild.
In center.
Wilcoxon the mistake, and we are tied.
This is just a different variety of putting pressure on the defense in the same way that the Pirates put pressure on the Camels with the bases loaded safety squeeze. The Camels run a fake bunt steal. Runner on first takes second, forces the throw from the catcher. As you see here, Trenton Harris squares around late. Good jump at first here. The throw down.
And now a base hit.
Wow.
That'll bring in another run, and the out is made. Good effort at short. So the Camels now have the lead.
Wilcoxon behind the plate on that steal was actually arguing if it was interference or not. They got the call earlier. They didn't get it this time. Camels take advantage. They put up 2, and now they're in the driver's seat. 2 outs here for Dalen Thompson. It's the top of the order.
How about that? Situational stolen base and an infield fielder's choice. That's the difference. And now Thompson quickly in a 1-1 count. Both fan bases getting into it here. Now you're in danger of walking the speedy Dalen Thompson.
More importantly, getting a Lawson Harrell on deck as well.
So the 3-1. There it is.
Regardless of the outcome of this at bat or just this inning in general, now that the Camels are up by 1, Jackson Roberts threw 1 pitch last inning. I have to believe that he's coming out for the 9th.
Thompson continues the inning. So closer Danny Beal gives up 2. And the matchup continues. Let's try another 3-2 pitch. Thompson into right. Jenkins Cowart is there. Campbell scores 2 to jump in front, and it comes down to this. Top of the 9th when we return.
It's go time. The workday might be ending, but your family's hunger is still gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could just drop a big bow box on it. Because when you can feed the family with 12 Supremes, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can clock out and still spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, I'm Jared McAdoo, new home sales counselor here at Providence Creek by Mattamy Homes. Come live the good life near Campbell University. We at Mattamy Homes are proud sponsors of the Fighting Campbells. Providence Creek is 15 minutes away from campus with stylish floor plans and amenities including a pool. We have 7 stylish floor plans including ranches from 2,100 square feet to 3,100 square feet, 2 to 5 bedroom options, 2 bath to 3.5 bathrooms, all designed to enhance your daily life. Come take a tour with us today.
The catcher is now in to pitch. This is Kenley Jansen-esque of the LA Dodgers. And now he comes in for the save in his debut appearance.
Yeah, this is a guy that Coach Justin Herrick talked to us about in the preseason, that he was going to give him a chance to prove himself. The story actually goes that he randomly threw the day before Scout Day in the fall. Coach Harris said, hey, let's give you a bullpen in Scout Day, see what happens. Touches 98, and the rest is history. Now he actually gets a chance to do it in a game.
So Grant Knipp, who's never pitched a game in his life, will look to close this one out. 2 runs for the Campbells in the 8th. And Colin Wolfe, how does he do it? How does Grant Knipp in his debut pitching out and get this job done?
To be honest, I think you kind of say it is what it is, and you throw fastballs. You just challenge them. I know that ECU has been notorious for being able to match velocity with barrel, but what more do you have if you're Grant Knipp than 97 in the back pocket? So this is awesome. It'll be awesome to watch him prove it, see if he's got it.
Campbell scored the go-ahead run on an RBI ground out from Trenton Harris. We've had 3 lead changes in the last 2 innings, and now it literally comes down to this. A brand new closer who's been behind the plate for the last 8 innings now comes in to shut it down.
His arm's got to be loose, right? It's got to be loose.
And he'll face the best hitter in the American Athletic Conference, Jacob Jenkins Cowart, to get things started. With the new catcher, Andy Schultz, in behind the plate. How about this card? Justin Harris has pulled out pocket aces out of the pen, out of his backstop. 2 years ago, it was Zach Neto who earned the save in this matchup. He was a shortstop. Now it's Knipp, a catcher, and his first career inning is against an All-American candidate in Jacob Jenkins Cowart. Buckle up here in the 9th. 95 and up. What's the approach as a hitter here?
Hit the fastball. You know, I promise you that this entire ECU roster knows this is his first time, and he's going to want to throw the heater.
There's the heat and a base hit for Jenkins Cowart. Great start for the Pirates. And remember, Knipp's never held a runner on. Does that change the game running the bases here?
I don't think so down 1. I think if it was a tie game, yes, but I think you still have to play ECU offense, move the guys over. I think that's what Cliff Godwin's going to do here.
Carter able to take. Bristol Carter came in last inning as a pitch runner. And with great speed, Jenkins Coward is athletic over there on the bases. He can make things happen. Against the Campbell catcher, Grant Knipp now in the pitch. And the bunt goes right back to him. There's the first out. You kind of take that result if you're both teams right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll take the out for the one base up because you're playing with a 1-run lead. I have a feeling that Coach Hare would have been a little bit more aggressive defensively if it was a tie game, but you'll 100% take that. And from an ECU standpoint, you'll take the sack bunt to move the runner in scoring position too. A base hit here through the left side scores a run.
Here is Dixon Williams, the Greenville product. First breaking ball from Knipp today, who had not thrown an inning in his Campbell career until Scout Day last fall. He had an audition. He tried out. And now he's a secret weapon, if you will, for Justin Hare. The secret is now revealed. And the fastball is pretty cheddar. Dixon Williams, 2 hits today. East Carolina took the lead in the 8th. Campbell regained it in the bottom half. And Grant Knipp is firing 95, but missing. That's the tying run. Jacob Jenkins Coward, elite speed. The 2-1. Ripped foul.
With a guy debuting essentially on the mound, obviously, you can kind of hope that if your takes get you to a 3-1 count or a 2-1 count or a 2-0 count, you know he's going heater because he hasn't really established the confidence with the off speed.
Grant Knipp on 2-2. Throws the breaking ball, and Williams is all over it. Remember, this is an Alabama transfer who has been a catcher the last 2 years. Now he's coming in for his first ever pitching outing. Another 2-2. Got him with the breaking ball. Grant Knipp pulling a trick out of his sleeve.
This is just disgusting. We've seen a few of these executed by both staffs today, but look at Schultz just stick it right on the corner. Great execution by Grant Knipp there. Now he's got an even taller task here because a base hit ties the game with 2 outs. Got a chance to close the door.
And a good hitter in Luke Nowak at the plate. Grant Knipp delivers a strike. This is a story you couldn't believe. The catcher gets his debut appearance pitching for a save against number 11 ECU.
I think you got to just keep going back to it. I'd be surprised if they go heater again. Boom.
Outside, goes at 93. East Carolina has scratched and clawed all night. 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and there's the tying run.
Knipp being able to show multiple pitches has got these hitters off balance a little bit.
Now the 1-1. Even harder, but out of the zone. Justin Wilcoxon, a good hitter in his own right, is up next if this game continues. Now the 2-1. Strike 2. 1 pitch away from ending it. In his first career appearance, Grant Knipp, the catcher, looks to secure a top 25 win. The 2-2 will extend it. Luke Nowak battling here in the 9th. The debut outing for Grant Knipp. What does he have in store on 3-2? The cheddar stays up and the game continues. All of a sudden, Justin Wilcoxon gets an opportunity.
Yeah, Coach Godwin's going to slow this game down. That's probably the right move. Not necessarily that Wilcoxon can't handle it, but I think this is more just to get everybody, hey, we still got a chance. Not that they didn't think it, just to slow the game down. Let's see if we can find some sort of advantage. Maybe he's tipping his fastball or tipping his off speed. Maybe Coach Godwin saw something there.
There is no scouting report on a first-time pitcher.
Throw hard. That's pretty much all he's been doing, and then he's been able to land the curveball. I'm surprised they went away from it that last at-bat.
Justin Harris used this move before. Remember, Zach Neto, the All-American shortstop, came in and pitched and earned saves against NC State and ECU. Now it's Grant Knipp from the catching position against Justin Wilcoxon. Advantage ECU early. Jenkins Cowart, the single. Now a 2-out walk has extended this 9th inning. Number 11 ECU on the ropes here in Buies Creek. And a 2-0 count. Chisholm is up next for the Pirates. And here comes the pitching coach, who typically has the opposite conversation with Knipp, and he'll come to talk to his pitcher. Is this the scene from Major League where you say just eliminate the Terminator and throw the fastball?
No, because I think that's actually what he just did for the last like 6 pitches. He got to 0-1 and then just threw fastballs and ended up with a walk. So I think this is just the, hey, whatever we call, feel confident. It's the same way that Godwin just did with his offense. Dusty White's just going to go out there and say, hey, let's keep it simple here. All your job is to do is execute. Whatever happens, happens. This is just how baseball works. Whatever happens, happens. You brought what you had to the table.
Now a 2-0 count to Justin Wilcoxon. Catcher versus catcher. Right down the middle at 93. East Carolina has stranded 9 on the bases today. 2 more big ones here in the 9th against the catcher, Grant Knipp, now in for the save. The 2-1. Popped up to left. Weller with room. And the Campbell Camels take down number 11, East Carolina. It's their catcher, Grant Knipp, in his debut, earning the save and a top 25 win.
Are you kidding me, Grant Knipp? 3-run homer backside as a righty, made it look like a lefty. Easy money over the right field fence earlier. Now comes in and shuts the door against the number 11 ranked East Carolina team.
Hits the game-winning homer, delivers the game-winning out. Hard to draw that stuff up. As Campbell takes down East Carolina. Colin, your final thoughts on this one?
I just think it was a gritty performance from both teams. I know that East Carolina walks away from the loss, but they learned a lot about their ball club in Game 4. They dropped to 3-1. The Camels improved to 3-1. I like the way that both teams utilized a small game, but also found ways to get the big hits when they needed it. This was just really, really fun to be a part of, and the Camels come out on top.
Grant Knipp is our Papa John's player of the game for obvious reasons. And Colin, to come in and shut the door in the 9th. What a performance by Grant Knipp.
Yeah, that's got to just add loads of confidence to his shoulders. I'm really happy for the team, for Justin Hare to really unlock maybe some potential that people saw in Grant Knipp that he didn't even know about. So this whole story is just fun to watch regarding Grant Knipp.
What a night for college baseball. For Colin Wolfe and our talented crew, I'm Evan Budrovich. We say good night from Buies Creek as the Campbell Camels earn their 3rd ranked win of the season in a dynamic matchup. Plenty of fun baseball. Have a good night on Flow Sports.